Disclaimer and warning. This series is a CHRISB1HEART original story, so please do not copying the work, so the characters and the entire story is owned and made by me. Chapter 1. The Fallen Mercenary. Philadelphia, July 13, 1985. Inside an office building of a large skyscraper in the city, there's a bunch of workers inside doing paperwork or typing keyboards on their office desks. Among them is a female worker with long blonde hair and red eyes. As the woman types on her old 80s computer, she stopped typing and leaned back on her seat, taking heavy breaths. Just a few more hours and I could. She was cut off as she started coughing into her mouth, which it was normal, but then it grew intense as she slowly stopped coughing and take deep heavy breaths. As she looked at her palm she coughed into and revealed a lot of blood on it. As she looks at it, a knock on the wall nearby made her flinch and look at the person while clenching her fist, hiding the evidence. "How's the report coming along, Mrs. McKnight?" Her boss asked. If he was an average ginger-haired man, Amy McKnight gives her boss a fake smile. "Oh, it's going wonderful, sir. I am about 80% done. It should be done by tomorrow." Her boss nodded in satisfaction as he smirks. "That's good. Glad to see you working harder than the others, Mrs. McKnight. Work ends in an hour, so keep up the good work and have a good night," he said before walking away, making Amy sigh of relief. Thank gee he didn't see. She looked at her desk, showing a photograph of her with her husband Marcus McKnight, who has white slick back hair and brown eyes and a little 1-year-old baby Amy is holding. Amy smiles sadly. "I'm sorry, my boys. I wish I could do better," she thought before going back to typing. An hour and a half later, Amy drives her vehicle and parks it in the driveway of her own house. Once she stops the engine, she gets out of her vehicle and makes her way to the front door. Once arrived, she opened the door, which was fortunately unlocked, so when she entered the house she saw her husband Marcus reading a book, but when he heard the door open he looked up and smiled to see his wife. "Welcome home, dear. Dinner will be done shortly." Amy nods and looks around. "Where's the little man?" "He's in his room playing with Marty," Marcus explained, which Amy nodded to that answer and go to the couch and plop down next to him while Marcus put the book down and wrapped an arm around her. "You look exhausted," he said, which made Amy sigh heavily. "Is it that obvious?" she said before coughing again into her hand, seeing blood on her backhand again, making Marcus extremely worried. "You need to rest. You're overdoing it." Amy looks at him. "I can't stop now, Marcus. Boss haven't noticed yet, so if I keep this up then I could what, overwork yourself to death along with the cancer," Marcus said with a glare, which Amy looked down, got nothing to retort, so Marcus takes her hand. "Honey, you don't need to do this alone. I can work longer at the bar and we'll find a doctor. There's no cure for effing cancer, Marcus." She roared in frustration, which made Marcus flinched, and Amy instantly regrets as she cupped his cheek. "I'm sorry, honey. I didn't mean to snap, but I can't stop. If I make enough money, then it will be enough to take care of both of you until Henry goes to college." Marcus looked down. "Don't talk like that, babe. Don't say that. We'll find another way," he said, grabbing her hand that's on his cheek, trying to hold his emotions. This made tears to build in Amy's eyes as she pressed her forehead against his. "Marcus, I'm dying and I don't have much time left. I have to do this for you and for our baby boy. I want you both to grow. I want you to be there for him. Please, Marcus, no matter what you have to let me go, but don't feel alone, my love, because I'll be watching you and our son." Marcus closed his eyes and hugs his wife, pressing her head on his chest while he rests his chin on her head. His tears turn into anger. "It's not fair," he said in venom. "Life isn't fair, but we always have to fight through the unfairness. Take care of Henry for me, and I love you always." Marcus presses his temple on her head as he cries. "I love you too," he said as they both close their eyes, embarrassing each other's warmth, scared of the fateful day will come. September 8, 1985. 2 months later. A young boy at the age of 11 sitting outside a hospital room waiting for someone while trying to hold his tears. His father Marcus McKnight has arrived at the hospital and sees his son sitting. He approaches him and gets on one knee. "Henry, I'm here. How are you feeling, kiddo?" asked Marcus. "I don't want her to go, Dad, says the 11-year-old who is now known as Henry McKnight said with a sniffle. He tries to hold his tears, but his father holds his face and leans his forehead against Henry's. "I know, buddy, but there's nothing we can do. The cancer is too much for her to handle." Henry sniffles, still want to believe him, but Marcus takes a deep breath. "Come on, kiddo, all we can do now is be for her on her final moments." He picks Henry up and they enter the hospital room together. Henry's mother Amy sees them enter with a smile on her face. "There's my handsome boys," says Amy. "Hey darling, we're here for you," says Marcus as he drops Henry to Amy's bed. Henry crawls and hugs his mother. "Mommy," he says while crying. His mother holds him while rubbing his head for comfort. "Oh, my brave little boy, it's okay. No, it's not. This is the last time I'll see you." She shakes her head. "No, Henry, this isn't goodbye forever. You will see me again one day, and when that time comes we will be together as a family. Just take care of your dad for me, okay? He's hopeless without us." Henry giggles. "Yes, Mom, I will. I promise. I love you, Mom. You're the best mom I could ever had." His mother rubs Henry's face. "And you are the best son I ever had. Your smile, your joy makes me happy every day." She kissed Henry's forehead. "I love you, my brave boy." She lays back and closes her eyes. Henry starts to sob, trying to shake her mom awake. Mom, please wake up, open your eyes please." The heart monitor mails the sound saying her heart has stopped. His cover looks down and starts to cry while Henry still sobs. Mom. Mommy. 31 years later, in the night of Tokyo, Henry All grew up at the age of 21 in the year 2016. His appearance is white male, blonde low hair, red eyes, white long sleeve shirt with a hood. The end of the sleeves have red veins designs. He has a black leather jacket with only the left sleeve that has a red around the cuff, however the right arm with no sleeve, and on the end of the jacket where the pockets are is a red waves pattern all around it in a going to the direction of the right, and on the back is a fully red Phoenix logo. Navy blue sweatpants with red line on each side that goes down and take form of an arrow when reach the bottom of the pants. His shoes are white with red soles and red laces. Lastly, on his right hand is a metal gauntlet with scales, sharp fingers, a blade sticking out of the wrist part of the gauntlet, and a green animal eye attached to it. Right now Henry is driving a red motorcycle from the airport to the streets while the radio is playing. Since he just came to Tokyo, he had to change the radio station. The one he is playing is a conspiracy theory podcast, but it's spoken in Japanese. Luckily, after 20 years traveling across the world, he learned how to speak every language. He listens to the conspiracy theorist. On today's episode, we have someone who witnesses a creature that they claim to see, a werewolf in Europe. I have the eyewitness right here with me today. Since they don't want their identities revealed, I will identify them as Luma. So Luma, tell me about these werewolves you claim of and how you encountered it. Luma sounds scared of the idea but doesn't hesitate to speak her mind. It was a full moon. Me and my friends were out camping in the woods because we wanted to have a little party before school starts tomorrow. Then that's when we saw it. It must have smelled the food we were cooking as a big wolf-like creature with brown fur come after us full sprint. The theorist is shocked. Oh my, how did you survive? Well, out of nowhere, just as the werewolf's claws was about to touch us, a human with blonde hair face it head on and draw it away from us. Did this human had a medieval gauntlet in his hand? Ah yes, he did. I was curious, so I followed them alone. May I ask, you seem to be familiar with this individual? Yes, I have, as plenty of my episodes talk about this man saving people for the past 21 years. He is identified as the name the Bloody Phoenix. The Bloody Phoenix, well, wherever he is, I wish I could thank him as he disappear after killing that monster. The theorist chuckles. Who knows, there might be a chance he is listening right now. Luma giggles. Well, Bloody Phoenix, if you are listening, me and my friends thank you deeply for saving our lives. We would be dead if it wasn't for you. Henry smirks as he listens to the podcast. You're welcome, he says. Then he hears a cry for help in an alleyway. He makes a wide grin. Time for some action, he says while he turns his bike towards that direction. Meanwhile, at the alleyway, a high school girl is getting countered from a group of 5 men. Please leave me alone, please, she says, but the leader covers her mouth. Shut up, B, we are just gonna have fun with you, that's all, he says while grabbing her shirt. However, they turn around as they hear a bike approach them with their headlights on. Who the hell, says one of the group. Henry turns his bike off and gets off the bike. Well, what do we have here? An assault in progress. Sorry boys, but I'm afraid you picked the wrong choice to do that, says Henry. The leader lets go of the girl and approaches Henry while the group laughs at him. Sorry kid, but don't you realize what situation you just got yourself in? Henry smirks and rubs his chin. A situation. All I see is a bunch of losers who are so pathetic that they have nothing else to do but waste their pathetic life on harassing women cause nobody loves you. The leader gets pissed and tries to punch Henry in the face, but a tendril made of blood comes out of Henry's body and wrap around the leader's hand and break its hand. Ah! Screams the leader, making the other feel feared by what they are witnessing as their leader falls to their knees while holding their broken hand while the blood tendril returns inside of Henry's body. Pathetic, says Henry as he grabs the leader by the head and throws him to the wall, making them all shocked and the leader knocked out. The other 4 get ready to fight while both Henry's hands get covered in blood and take the form of arm bats made of blood. Despite their fear, they fight Henry, but Henry has fought plenty of guys like them before, so they beat them up with ease. He starts toying with them by doing flips backwards to dodge their attacks. Hold still, says one of the 4 group members. Ah no, I don't think I will. I get impatient if I sit on one place, but feel free to try and make me. The 4 gets really pissed while Henry knock out the 2 of them. One of the 2 group members pulls out his pistol. Let's see if you can dodge this freak. He fires all the bullets to Henry's back. Henry falls to the ground, making the high school girl cover her mouth as she fears for his life. Nice shot, dude, says one of the 2 group members while the other member chuckles. That B should have known that's gonna happen. However, Henry laughs it off and stands back up. Ha 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 ha. You sure you fired bullets? They felt like needles to me. The F, says the 2 group members as they witness Henry's healing factor as bullets fall out of his body and his clothes and wounds heal. Henry smirks, turning around while the guy who shot him tries to fire, but he's out of bullets. Henry uppercuts that guy, knocking him out. He hears another gun ready as the last guy holding the high school girl is held at gunpoint. One more and the girl gets it. The girl sobs, "Please help me, I don't wanna die." Henry's face turns serious as a blood tendril grabs the guy by the ankle and lifts him to the air and then slam him to the ground, breaking their noise and pass out instantly. The girl was shocked and backed away. The blood tendril returns to his body while Henry looks down. "Sorry if I scared you, madam," but the girl hugs him and cries on his chest. Thank you, I don't know what to do if you haven't shown up, you're my hero." Henry shakes his head. "I'm no hero," She looks at him in the eyes. Why you are though? I just don't think I am, that's all. She lets go of him and smiles. Doesn't matter because no matter what you say you're a hero to me. Henry chuckles while carrying the unconscious bodies of the thugs. Well thanks I guess. Henry throws the thugs to a pile. There now then. He calls 911 on his flip phone while the girl observes. Hello, I like to report an assault attempt but the victim is safe. Yeah. Okay thanks. Henry ends the call and turns to the girl. Well police will take care of them, you should get going, says Henry while walking away, but the girl grabs her hand. Wait please. Henry turns his head. Huh, what's up? Well I don't feel safe walking home, can you give me a ride home? Henry rolls his eyes and gets on his bike. All right, get on. The girl smiles and gets excited. Oh thank you hero. She gets on the bike behind him and wraps around his chest and leans her head on his back, making Henry blush a little. Hold on tight, says Henry as he starts the bike and drives off to her place. Chapter 2 Morgan. Henry parked outside the girl's apartment building. All right, off you go, says Henry, making the girl get out of his bike and approach the front door. As she grabbed the handle of the door, she turned to Henry. Thank you again for everything. However, when she turned to him, he already drove away, making her pout in disappointment. Meanwhile, Henry is driving to a nightclub called Sunset Wonder. He parked his bike outside to approach the entrance door. The bouncer stops him from entering. State your business, stranger. We don't casually let anyone just wander inside. You have to have a membership card or else you have to leave. Henry growls. I was invited here by a friend of mine. Which friend? Asked the bouncer. His name is Morgan, a tall, full-bearded man around his 30s. The bouncer. Ah, Mr. McKnight, he told us you were on your way. The bouncer opens the door. Please head inside. Henry heads inside the place and makes his way down to the main area. As he keeps going, he walks past the ladies and gentlemen on the dance floor. He eventually finds Morgan sitting down with a round table in front of him. Morgan's appearance is bald, so he wears a black cap backwards, green eyes, fully brown beard. His entire outfit was a black suit with a gray buttoned shirt. Morgan sees Henry approaching. There you are, you son of a b, you're late. Henry shrugs. Some thugs tried to assault a high schooler, you know how it goes. Morgan chuckles. I know you can't help yourself, says Morgan. Henry sits down with his feet kicked up. So what's so important enough for us to come on the other side of the planet for? Well, I got a job for you, and don't worry, it doesn't involve innocent lives. I know you wouldn't take the job if that was the case. He grabs a piece of paper and slides it past the table for Henry to grab. He looks at the photo of a high school male who had green hair and yellow eyes and was wearing a school uniform. While looking, Morgan says, "This kid Orion, apparently he has been bullied for years for being a rich kid. So his rich mommy and daddy wants to hire someone to be their bodyguard until he graduates this year." Henry groaned. God damn it, why me? Because Henry, you're the youngest mercenary I know. Well, young enough considering you haven't aged past 21 in 21 years. You sure it will work? Of course, I made a profile for you. You'll be a transfer student and the parents made sure your schedule is the same as Orion's, so you'll be by his side the entire time and it will only be during school time. I don't know about this. Come on kid, it's 10 grand. 5 grand for each of us they're paying, and you wanna pass that amount? Henry rolls his eyes. You're so greedy, damn it, fine. Morgan laughs in victory. Ha ha ha, and that's why you're my favorite merc. A waitress approaches them. Hello gentlemen. Welcome to Sunset Wonder. My name is Candy and I'll be taking your order today. What do you wanna get today? Henry turns to her. I'll have the strongest beer and a cherry-flavored wine, please. How about you, Morgan? Just a wine. Candy chuckles. Oh it gentleman, she walks away. Morgan looks at Henry. Man you really like to abuse your can't get drunk ability huh? Henry chuckles. Hey that's my favorite part of having regeneration, can't get drunk but I can enjoy the taste of it like I'm drinking juice and never worry about it affecting my body. Well that's one reason to do it, says Morgan. Henry asks, so what is this school this Orion kid goes to? It's KO University, the kid's a college student. Huh, better than going to high school again, says Henry. By the way Henry, try not to hit on the girls while you're there. Henry pout and cross his arms. Morgan, you know my heart belongs to the woman I love the most. Morgan sigh. Still loyal to Rose after 21 years. Always am and always will. Candy arrive with their drinks. Here you sir and your wine Mr. Handsome, says Candy as she give them both their drinks and wink at Henry. She walks away. The boys drink up and Morgan chuckles. Hey Phoenix, you got a piece of paper under your drink. Henry raise an eyebrow as while he drinks his wine he pick up a piece of paper under his bare bottle that has Candy's number on it. Damn it again. Morgan laughs. Ha 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 ha, another girl's number huh, you still gonna be loyal now? Of course I am a hole, I'm just gonna keep it for any dangers. Henry holds it and put in his jacket pocket. Yeah sure, says Morgan. Then Henry gets up. I'll text you when I contacted Orion, he says while leaving the building. As Harry exits the building he gets on his bike and drives off. Loyalty. I will always be loyal to her, Henry says. Henry, then his stomach growls. Henry shakes his head. Well I guess it's dinner time now, where should I go? He looks around while driving and sees a little market store. This should do. He drives to the market and parks his bike outside and enters the store. The lady behind the counter welcomes him and Henry looks around and grabs a new snack and a soda. While looking around he hears 3 robbers enter the store. Robber 1 aims his gun at the lady behind the counter. Money, pay up now. Sure you are making a big mistake, please just put it down, says the lady. Give us the money or we'll do it ourselves, says robber 2. Henry lets out a long yawn, starting with the 3 robbers. Who's there to show yourself, says robber 3. Henry approaches them. Really guys, robbery this late, don't you got better things to do than to ask to get your butt kicked? Oh cocky bastard isn't he, says robber 2. Oh yeah, let's see if he's cocky when I do this. He puts the barrel of his gun at Henry's skull. Not so cocky now aren't you? Who do you think you are coming at us with that? Henry laughs. Ha 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 ha, who am I? He breaks the guy's wrist. Who the F do you think you are? You're just a little bee who is about to lose a tooth. He punches the guy, knocking him out instantly while a tooth fell out. Man, I think the tooth fairy is in love with me at this point. What did that my 100 times somebody lost their teeth to me. The other 2 robbers back away as Henry grabs the gun and aims at them, scaring them and the lady. Whoa easy now kid, says robber 2 inches. Yeah please don't kill us, says robber 3. Henry looks at the lady while still aiming at them. Beautiful, would you do me a favor and duck and cover for me? The lady nods and does that. Henry shoots the other robbers in the thighs, making them fall in pain while Henry crushes the gun with his gauntlet hand. Oh, you shot us, says robber 2 inches. What the hell you freak, well get you for this, says robber 3, but Henry grabs them and threw them to the sidewalk while a blood tendril grabs robber 1 and does the same. Sure, let's find our boys, remember to not drop the soap, ha 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 ha. Henry walks back to the market while the lady ends the call to the cops. Henry pats the table. Hey, it's over now, you can get up. The lady does and kiss him on the cheek. Thank you so much, those guys have been robbing me every 3 weeks. I'm so happy that's over. What happened? I hope you didn't kill them. Henry chuckles and put the snacks and soda on the table. Nope, just hit their legs so they can't run away, they're going to jail. The lady sigh of relief. Oh thank God, but next time please don't be reckless. Henry shrugs. I'm going to be reckless anyways. So how much is this? Just take it on the house. Henry grabs some case and hand it to her. Like hell, that is, just take the money and I won't accept a no. The lady takes the money. I don't know what to say. Just armor yourself next time. Take care, beautiful, says Henry as he leaves, making the lady blush by that nickname. Henry drives off with his bike and heads to a nearby alleyway. He gets off and, by using his parkour skills, climb his way to a rooftop and sit on a ledge. This spot should do. He eats the stuff he bought while looking at the city of Tokyo. After eating, he lays on the ledge. School day tomorrow, huh? This can get interesting. He goes to sleep. In his dream he remembers back to a horrible day when he was 13 years old. In this flashback he's riding a bus reading a fantasy book next to his childhood best friend Marty Proton, who is also doing the same thing but reading a different book. Marty's appearance is a brown-haired spiky boy with half-orange half-pink eyes he inherited from Mrs. Proton. Ha 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 ha, wow, what I seen, says young Marty. Wait, what happened? Asked young Harry, catching his curiosity. As he was about to look, their stop arrived and Marty gets up, putting his book away. I'll tell you when we get to your place. Aw man, says Henry as he also gets up. Him and Marty get out of the bus and walk to Henry's house. Hey Marty, I saw you hitting on that girl in the hallway earlier, he, says Henry, nudging him with his elbow. Marty blushes. No, I wasn't, she just came and asked to help with her project. A project, you say? Oh my Marty, we're only in middle school and you're already helping girls with projects. Marty gets flustered. Shut up Henry. Get your mind out of the gutter for 5 seconds, will ya? Nope, ha 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 ha, says Henry as he unlocks the house and heads inside with Marty. The kids set their backpacks down. Henry sits on the couch while Marty grabs them both water bottles from the fridge and sits down next to Henry. Come on, tell me what happened in your book. Oh right, says Marty as he grabs his book, but then they hear a knock on the door. Aw come on, I wanna hear about the scene, says Henry. Then the knock keeps going. Henry McKnight, it's the police, you're not in trouble but we need to talk. The boys get confused but Henry gets up and opens the door. 2 officers were at the door, one male and one female, who were holding cheers. The male officer says, "Ah, Mr. McKnight, I'm glad you're here. How can I help you, officer?" Asked Henry. "It's about your father." "Oh no, what did he do?" The female officer kneels down. "He didn't do anything, but he got in a car accident and The male officer cuts her off. "I can handle this." The female officer nods and stands up and backs away. "Your father was badly injured. He didn't survive." "I'm sorry Henry, but," says the male officer. Henry and Marty's eyes widened. "Henry, you okay?" asked Marty. Henry tries to hold his tears. "No, there's no way, I just called him. He can't be dead, he can't." "Where is he? I wanna see him, please." The officers shake their heads. "Your father's body was messed up badly that you won't be able to recognize his face." Henry starts to cry and back away. "No, no, 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 Dad, please, not you too, please." "I'm sorry kid, but according to the law you have to go to an orphanage," says the male officer. "No, no, I refuse to let that happen. I won't let anybody replace my parents, I won't." The officers approach him. "Sorry kid," says the female officer. "Henry, just please go with them," says Marty, but Henry gets pissed while tears come down his face. "No, never." He runs away, climbing out of his bedroom window and runs away. He cries his eyes out while running. "Dad! Dad! Dad!" He keeps running to the graveyard and heads to his mother's grave and hugs it while sobbing. I'm sorry Mom, I failed you, I broke my promise, please. Please forgive me. He keeps crying. I don't know what to do, please, I don't know where to go, I miss you, I need you. He screams in anger at the sky. Ah. Chapter 3 Keio University. Back in the present day in the morning, Henry wakes up on the ledge and sits up with tears in his eyes. Damn it. He cleans the tears off his face and checks his flip phone. He got a message from Morgan. School will start soon, better head there now. Henry puts his phone away. He gets up and jumps off the building, landing on his feet unharmed to the alleyway. He gets on the bike and drives off. As he drives, he thinks about that day and thinks to himself, that day was the worst day of my life. I refused to be in an orphanage. Luckily I stayed hidden from the cops and spent the rest of that school year getting enough money to pay the cops off and keep the house for myself. I had to get held back and get a job, but it was worth it. He keeps driving until he arrives at the parking lot outside of Keio University. He turns off the engine and walks towards the entrance. While he walks, students in uniform look at him in his unusual attire and whisper to each other, "Look at that guy, is he a student? He doesn't look like one." Says a student 1 inch. "What's with that gauntlet? It looks intimidating. I hope it isn't a weapon." Says student 2 inches. "Look at his jacket and get up. He looks like he's from a fantasy novel. Is it a cosplay or does he always wear that?" Asked student 3. Henry rolls his eyes. "Gee, I hate it here already." He sighs. "Let's just get this job over with." He's about to walk past a police car, but he sees something that catches his attention. There was a wanted poster on his dashboard. A blood tendril comes out of his wrist to grab it and hand it to Henry, then retreat. Henry looks at the wanted poster that reads, "Dave Ghost wanted, dead or alive. Crime kidnapping students from different schools. The reward is $200,000. Henry grins. Oh, this could be interesting. He folds the paper and puts it in his jacket pocket and keeps walking. Then as soon as he steps foot in the front door, a flashback happens where 23 years ago when his past self did the same but entered his high school, Philadelphia Central High School. It was his first day as a senior at the age of 19. Back then he didn't have his gauntlet and his jacket but was wearing a black backpack. Marty follows behind him. "Wait up, Henry, for God's sakes," says Marty as Henry stops walking and turns to Marty, who finally catch up but starting panting. "Why didn't you wake me up?" Henry chuckles. "Why should I? If you're too lazy to set up an alarm, then I should let Sleepy Beauty sleep." Marty finally catches his breath. "Come on, man, would you get serious? This is our last year of high school. We're going to be grown-ups after graduation." "Oh right, not like I haven't been an adult since my father's death," says Henry. Marty shakes his head. "You're right, it doesn't affect you that much, huh?" Henry shrugs. "Pretty much, but anyway, we should head to our first class." Marty nods. "Right, let's see." He grabs his schedule. "Well, it looks like I got math first. How terrific, I hate math." "Ha ha ha ha, luckily it's the beginning of the day." Henry checks schedule. "I got chemistry. Ooh, how much would you bet I'm gonna accidentally blow up the class?" Marty covers his mouth. "Shut the hell up, you idiot, don't say that out loud or you'll get kicked out for a misunderstanding." He lets go of his mouth. Henry groans. "Fine, well, I'll see ya in lunch." Henry walks away to his class while Marty nods and does the same. Henry enters the chemistry class and sits down. It seems everyone has finally arrived. Welcome to chemistry class. Now before we start, it is required that every student has to be paired into two, as in this class you have to learn about teamwork. Henry whispered to himself, "PFFT, teamwork my butt, I've always done things myself, they would just get in my way." Everyone please find your chemistry partner and choose wisely as you'll be by their side for the rest of the year, says the teacher. Then everyone groups up but Henry doesn't move and closes his eyes. Until he hears a female voice, "Excuse me." Henry opens his eyes with a raised eyebrow and looks at the girl. His eyes widened by her beauty. She has fully red hair like the color of Henry's eyes. Her eyes were blue like sapphires. She had freckles and glasses on. She was completely his type. Henry stutters a little. Yes. She giggles and sits down next to him. "I wanted to be your chemistry partner if that's okay." "Yes, of course I would. Love that. He, me too, handsome." She offers a handshake. Name's Rosemary. Henry accepts her handshake. "Henry McKnight. Oh my knight, well now I know who I will come to when I need help." She looks at our hands as they never let go of the handshake. She smirks. "Feel free to hold my hand longer." Henry pulls away while blushing. "Right, sorry, shall we focus on the lesson?" he says while turns to look at the teacher for the lesson, but Rose smiles haven't stopped looking at him. Back to the present day. 23 years later, Henry enters his first class in Keio University. All the students look at him with uneasy looks at his appearance, especially his gauntlet. The teacher also gives him a weird look. "Ah, you must be the new transfer student. Welcome, Mr. McKnight. I must say you don't really fit in as we do have school uniforms." "Ah, my apologies, teacher. The school couldn't provide me the right outfit for me. I hope I don't bother you by my appearance." Students start asking him questions. "What's with the gauntlet?" Asked female student 1-inch. "Why are you here?" Asked male student 1-inch. "Are you single?" Asked female student 2. Now students, I think Mr. McKnight doesn't feel like answering any questions. "Do you mind, Henry?" Asked the teacher. "I actually do mind, sorry, but it's too early for me to answer questions. Can I just sit down, please?" Asked Henry. The students are left feeling disappointed but suspicious of him. "There's an empty seat in the back," says the teacher, which made Henry nod and sit down. "Now then, students, let's begin our first lesson. Can someone summarize what we did last year?" A female student gets up and summarizes what they learned, but Henry doesn't care as he looks around for Orion. He eventually sees a green-haired man with yellowish eyes. Henry looks at the prayer on the profile of Orion and it matches his description, "Found you." Some time later, where class ended. Everyone is packing up and leaving one by one. As Henry gets up, a female student approaches him. "Hey Henry, right? Yes, and what do you want?" "I'm not in the mood for questions." The lady shakes her head. "Nothing, I was wondering if you wanna have lunch together later." "Sorry madam, as interesting as that is, I'm busy." The female student fixes her hair and put it behind her ear. "Oh. Alright, that's fine." Henry sees Orion leaving. "Sorry beautiful, but maybe next time." The female student blushes and sees Henry walk away. Henry follows Orion within a distance. He keeps walking until a group of football jocks approach Orion. "Alright rich kid, pay up now or you'll get your usual beating," says the leader jock. "Please, have told you this, I'm not paying you anything." The leader jock growls. "How dare you? You're a fool begging to get hit." Henry smirks and whispers to himself. Bullying in a university. If they haven't decided to grow up from that, then these kids are screwed. Henry leans against the lockers and uses blood manipulation powers to use his ability called body control. How body control works is that he can control other people's bodies to force people to do what he commands. However, it doesn't work on their minds, so he can't just possess their bodies or mess with their memories. It's more like Henry as the remote and the victim as the TV that he can command to do. They still have control of their minds and can witness everything they're doing, just can't control their bodies. Anyway, he uses body control to control the leader jock to fight the other jocks. What the hell are you doing? Saying one of the jocks. I don't know, I can't control myself, said the leader jock, but the other guys don't believe him and beat the fight, the leader making Orion back away. Henry yawns and taps Orion's shoulder. Follow me. Huh, Henry, what are you? Says Orion, but Henry cuts him off and make him move away from the jocks. Just move. Yes, sir, says Orion, and they both walk away together while Henry smirks and thinks to himself, this is gonna be an easy paycheck. Chapter 4 Business. Henry took Orion to the boys' bathroom and hide in a corner. This starting to feel weird, says Orion, and Henry rubs his temples. Oh my gee, this is the best way to do this without being caught. Oh, then in that case I understand. What did you wanna talk about? Henry leans back against the bathroom wall. Do you have any idea who I am? Orion shakes his head. No, should I? Henry sighs. I was hired by your parents. Orion's yellow eyes widened. Hired? What do you mean? I'm a merc. Your parents hired me to be your bodyguard of bullies for the rest of the year till you graduate. A mercenary? Wow, I never met one before. You look pretty young to be one though. Henry chuckles. Yeah, well, I'm older than I look anyway. I wanted to explain that in case you get the wrong idea. Your parents made sure your schedule stays the same. Wait, like, well, be going to the same classes. Wouldn't you want to learn things outside of my classes and not worry about me all day? Kid, I'm not here to learn. I've done this job for over 21 years and got plenty of outside experience. I'm here to do my job. Believe me, I hate being here. Oh, okay then, so what will we do now? For now, just go back to usual. I'll take care of everything. Oh, all right, sir. Henry pouted. Don't call me that, it makes me sound old. Orion chuckled. Haha, well, when you said you're older than you look, I just assumed you were old. He walks away. Hey, I'm not old, damn it. Henry follows Orion to their next class. For the next few classes everything was normal. No real bullies roaming around going after Orion, because without him knowing, Henry was using his body control ability to move them out of the way. When the bell rang for the end of the third class, Orion and Henry exits the class. Dude, if you're gonna blend in, at least pretend to care, unless the teachers will kick you out, said Orion. But I don't wanna. Stop acting like a kid. If you don't at least try to care, you will get in trouble and it could ruin the job. Fine, I'll try. Thank you. You're lucky your mommy and daddy are paying me to listen to ya. As they keep walking, Orion bumps into a brunette with glasses and she falls, dropping her books. Oh my gee, I'm so sorry, I wasn't looking, she said as she gets her books, but Orion helped. Let me help, it was my fault too. They two helped each other get her books back and they stand up. Thank you, I appreciate the help, says the girl, and Orion chuckles. It's nothing. So what's your name? Oh, it's Haley. You're Orion, right? I love your green hair. Orion blushed and rubbed the back of his neck. Oh, thank you, Haley. I like your glasses. They look cute on you. Haley blushed and played with her hair. Oh, thank you. So what are you two up to, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, we're just going to lunch. Her eyes lighten up. Oh, really? So am I and my friends. Oh, then you're welcome to join us. Really, you don't mind? Of course we don't, right, Henry? Henry cross his arms. Sure, whatever. Haley chuckles. All right then, I'll see you guys there. She waves and leaves to the lunchroom. Orion looks at Henry. You don't seem excited about it. And you seem to take a liking to the girl. It seems you already found a wife, huh? Orion blushes. Dude, it's not like. But Henry cuts him off. Shut it. If you don't accept it, you'll just ruin it for the both of you. Just accept it and move on, and if you want, make your move, go ahead. If not, I will make you. Henry walks towards the cafeteria and Orion follows. Hey Henry. Yeah. Have you ever been in love? Henry nods. I have, a long time ago. Oh, I'm sorry it didn't work out for you. Oh, it did. Huh, what do you mean? Henry sighs. It's complicated, I rather not say. Okay. As they about to enter the cafeteria, Orion blocks his path. Hey, listen, I know we just met, but from what you said it seems there's more to you than just a man with muscles, so if you need a friend to talk to, I'm here. Thanks, kid, but I'm not here to make friends. This is business, so let's stay that way, got it? Orion nodded and they head inside the cafeteria. As they walked, they gathered some food. Henry got a taco and Orion got some chicken. As they walk, Orion sees Haley waving at them with her friends. Orion, over here. Orion nods and goes towards their chair, and Henry follows and sits down with Orion. When they sat, Henry decided to look away from them, but Haley didn't bother with it and looked at Orion. Orion, I would like you to meet Katie, Maximus, and Lyra. Her friends wave at them. Lyra moved to get in front of Henry. Hey there, handsome, what's your name? Henry ignores her and keep eating. That's Henry, he's not the social type, says Orion. Ooh, I love a man of mystery. Katie raised an eyebrow. Wait, isn't he the new kid? Orion nodded and Maximus chuckled. I'm impressed, Orion, you already became friends with the new guy, you must have gotten his interest. Orion shrugged. You can say that. So, Henry, tell us about yourself, where you are from your accent and attire it's clear you're not from here. Henry rolled his eyes and said, I'm from America, but I learned how to understand other languages. Everyone's eyes widened. America, huh, what's it like there? Henry shrugged. Chaotic, but I can manage. Lyra rests her elbows on the table and stare at Henry. Oh my. Smart and handsome, what else you hiding under that muscle? Henry raised an eyebrow. Wouldn't you like to know? Maximus coughed to get Henry's attention. Ahem, so what's a guy from America doing in Japan and our school? That's none of your business, says Henry, making Maximus raise an eyebrow. Oh really, is there something you're hiding, maybe a criminal record or something? Orion froze. Hey, now let's not jump into conclusions. Like I said, he's not very social, and besides it's not like he should have a reason to tell everything to strangers he just met. Maximus shakes his head. You're right, I apologize, Henry. It's fine, says Henry as he keeps eating. While he eats, Haley looks at Henry's gauntlet. That thing on your hand is so cool. Is there a story behind it? It's family heirloom. The heirloom, how well, I'm surprised the principal let you wear it, says Haley. Henry smirks. Yeah. Then Henry thinks to himself, it's not like we pay the principal to keep quiet or anything, ha. You know what it reminds me of? What? A myth called the Bloody Phoenix. Everyone raised an eyebrow. The Bloody Phoenix? Asked Orion, an eyebrow, and Haley noted. Yeah, there's a conspiracy, or more like a myth. Witnesses said they talk about a vigilante who can control blood and use them to hunt down criminals and supernatural beings like werewolves and ghosts. Maximus laughs. Ha ha ha, come on Haley, don't tell me you believe in that crap. Haley blush of embarrassment. Orion stares at Henry, then back to Haley. I believe her. There were reports of mysterious activities happening lately that the authorities try to hide from. Haley smiles. Thank you, Orion. Do they have any idea who the Bloody Phoenix is? Asked Katie, but Haley shakes her head. Not much, they only seen he wears a medieval gauntlet. Orion stares at Henry's gauntlet. Henry. Who and what are you? Chapter 5, end of first day. Hours later, school ends for the day and Henry is waiting for Orion outside, leaning against the wall outside the door. Eventually Orion exits from the front door. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting. Are you unharmed? Yes, no bullies come after me. Good, now then follow me, I'm taking you home, he says while walking to his bike. Orion shakes his hands. Whoa, you don't have to do that, I can walk myself home. Henry looks at him with a death glare. Kid, my job isn't done until you go home. If you walk home, I still have to follow you. Orion sighs, okay. He follows Henry. Henry gets on his bike and starts the engine. As Orion is about to get on, Haley calls out to him, Orion, wait. Orion turns to see Haley and Lyra approach them. Oh hey girls, what's up? Asked Orion. Lyra whispered to Haley. Remember, be confident, she says, pushing Haley closer to Orion while Lyra walked towards Henry. Wow, nice bike, mind if I take a spin sometime? She asked, and Henry pouts. No. Lyra giggles. Damn Orion, your friend is playing hard to get. Orion didn't pay attention to Lyra and just look at Haley, who seems shy. You okay, Haley, what is it? He asks, then she give Orion a piece of paper with her number on it. If it's okay, I want to hang out with you in the future, so please give me a call. Orion blushes and accepts it. I'll call you tomorrow. Her eyes widen. Really? She asks, and Orion noted, but Henry revved the bike, startling them. Come on, lover boy, says Henry with a smirk. Orion blush in rage. Henry, what the hell? Lyra and Henry laugh at him. We gotta get going before your parents get mad. Orion sighs and looks at Haley. I'll call. She kissed him on the cheek. I look forward to it. Come on, Lyra, she said while walking away. Lyra looks at Henry. See ya tomorrow, handsome. Henry rolls his eyes and Lyra walks away with Haley. Orion gets on Henry's bike and they drive off. As Henry drives, he chuckles. You know something? Orion raised an eyebrow. What? You're definitely losing your versus card before graduation. Orion blushed and punched him on the back. Ow, what was that for? Asked Henry. Shut up, Henry, it's not like that. Henry grins. Sure it isn't, just wear protection. Orion hits him again. Oh my gee, shut up already. Henry laughs, making Orion embarrassed. Ha 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 ha. Gee, I hate you, you start to sound like my dad. Ha ha, then your dad knows what he's doing. Just drive before I kill you. Henry chuckles and keep driving until they're outside the apartment complex. Henry parks the bike and both him and Orion get off the bike. Orion leads Henry towards the outside of his penthouse on the top floor. As they enter the penthouse, a maid approaches them. Ah, Master Orion, welcome home, says the maid. Hey Linda, sorry if I'm early. Linda shakes her head. I don't mind, it puts my mind at ease knowing you're safe. She looks at Henry. You must be Mr. McKnight, it's a pleasure. Linda bows to him. I heard great things about your work from Master. Henry whistle. Man, a maid, huh, Orion, you're so lucky you even got a beautiful one. Linda blushes and play with her hair while giggling. I'm flattered, Mr. McKnight. Orion looks at Henry. Dude. What? Don't hit on the maid. Why not? She's attractive, I can't help it. Linda blush harder that her ears turn red. Oh. Go. Get Master. She walks away while fanning herself with her hand as she's getting hotter, but she eventually regain her composure and yell, Master, your son's home and he brought Mr. McKnight with him. I'll be right there, please, said Mr. McKnight on the living room couch. Says Orion's father. Yes, sir. Says Linda, and she approaches Henry. This way, please. Henry nodded and follows Linda while Orion rolls his eyes and walk away. I got homework to do. After a few minutes, Henry sits on one of the couches in the living room. Can I get you anything? Asked Linda, but Henry shakes his head. No need, I am gonna get dinner later. Linda nods. I understand. She sits next to him while smiling. Orion's father and his wife Orion's mother have finally arrived. Ah, I apologize for the delay, I was helping my wife with something, he said while fixing his tie. Henry shrugs. It's fine, a few minutes in here wasn't that bad, your maid was keeping me company. Orion's mother nods. That's good, her company is the best part of her charm. Both parents sits down on the couch across from Henry. Anyway, I want a report of how today went, said Orion's father. It went pretty well. I prevent any bullies from touching him and prevented a scene. The only problem was cause my attire. I was kinda stand out and got a lot of glances. Orion's mother nodded. Right, we apologize that during this morning we had no time to give you the uniform or disguise as you would put it, however we managed to get one. Linda, would you mind handing it to Mr. McKnight? Linda noted. Of course. She gets up and walks away to get it. I hope Orion wasn't a problem for you, sir, said Orion's mother, but Henry shakes his head. Not at all, it was entertainment. He even met someone who can be a potential partner for him. Orion's father grinned. Well, I didn't knew Orion had it in him. I look forward to meeting her in the future. Linda returns with a black backpack and hands it to Henry. Here you go, sir, the uniform is inside the bag. Henry nods and takes the bag. Thank you, gorgeous. He gets up and put on the backpack. Well, I should get going. I'll meet Orion tomorrow. Everyone nodded, but Linda frowns and feels kinda disappointed that Henry is leaving but hides it. Henry leaves while waving. Chapter 6 Bounty. Hours later, Henry relaxed at a bar drinking wine. While relaxing, Morgan entered the bar with a few bags. Did you have a good day at school, kiddo? Haha, screw you, I'm pretty sure you know my answer. Morgan sits down and hands one of the bags to Henry. Probably boring, believe me, I get that, but it's a job and we gotta finish it. I got us dinner. Henry opens the bag and found some fast food. Ooh, burgers, nice. He eats up his food while Morgan does the same and asks, so how's the job? Henry shrugs. Pretty boring. You should have seen when I made some bullies fight each other. Ha 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 ha, that wow, yeah, I bet those kids are so confused. Oh, you should have made them hit themselves. Henry laughs. Ha 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 ha, that would have been a fun idea. Why you hitting yourself? Why you hitting yourself? Why you hitting yourself? Ha 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 ha. Morgan chuckled and looked at the screen. That's playing a football game that is on their last quarter as the teams both have equal scores. Morgan grinned and looked at Henry. Hey, wanna win us some money? He said while pulling his betting app on his flip phone. Henry grins back. Do you even have to ask? These guys wouldn't mind, they get paid playing these things anyways. So he pulls up his flip phone and goes on his betting app. They both look at the screen. So which team are we going for? Asked Henry, but Morgan points at one of the teams. These guys, from what I heard, they've been doing terrible lately, so let's at least give them the win. However, do try to make it convincing. We don't want anyone to get fired of stupid reasons. Henry nods. Okay then, this will take a while. Good thing we got dinner. Morgan noted with a smile, and with a thought, Henry used his body control ability to control all the football players in the field so that eventually the team they were betting on would win without causing too much suspicion. As the last timer was about to go to zero, they ended the game with a touchdown. Touchdown! Yelled the announcer and declared the win. Henry releases his control of the players, then he and Morgan click glasses with their drinks. Now that's easy money, says Morgan. You got that right, says Henry, and they chug their glasses empty. Their flip phones go off showing the money from the betting was deposited to their accounts, and it was around thousands of dollars. Morgan whistled. Man, I love my job. Henry chuckled. Good, I hope you do, 'cause I found us, he said while grabbing a folded poster from his jacket pocket and continued. Another job. Big money. Henry unfolds the poster showing a wanted poster of Dave Ghost and slides it to Morgan's direction. Morgan raised an eyebrow and picked it up. Dave Ghost, huh? What's this guy's story? Apparently he's been kidnapping teenagers, but mostly high schoolers. Now why would he have the time for that? Henry shrugs. Who knows, but we gotta stop him before he gets more people. $200,000, now that's a jackpot. Henry rolls his eyes. Greedy bastard. Hey, I care. Kinda. They both chuckle to that. So I'm guessing we're taking the job? Asked Henry, and Morgan noted. Yep, of course we are. You found us a big job. So what do you have in mind in comes to how we do this job? Well, I'm suggesting we find where and how he's taking these people and use bait. Morgan looks at the poster. Ooh, okay, then maybe I'll call one of my contacts to call the detective who was hunting this guy down. Henry nods. Sounds good, let's head to the junkyard. I gotta go make some baits. Morgan nods and follows Henry, leaving the bar to the junkyard while making a call. After they leave the bar, flashback to 23 years ago. This is a few hours after Henry meets Rose for the first time at chemistry class. At lunchtime, Marty is having lunch. Henry has finally arrived and sits next to Marty. Hey man, how's your first day so far? Asked Henry, but Marty sighs. Rough, how about you? Henry shrugs. Same as previous years, but I at least meet someone. Marty raised an eyebrow. Oh really, you actually met someone? Who? As he asks, Henry felt someone touching his shoulder, sending shivers to his spine, but they speak. Henry turns to face them but realize it was Rose. Oh hey Rose. She looks at Marty. Is he a friend of yours? Henry nods. Yep, this is my childhood best friend Marty. Marty waved. Hey there, nice to meet you Rose. Rose nods. Likewise. She looks at Henry. Anyway, I just wants to say hi. She points at her table. I am sitting over there. You're welcome to join me Henry, she said with a wink, and head to her table and sit down. Marty grins. You should do that. Henry's eyes widen. What, no? Marty frowns. Why not? Because I don't wanna leave you alone. Marty groans. You're scared to scare her off, aren't you? What scared me never. He says while pouting and crossing his arms. Marty sighs. Henry, listen to me, you can't be scared, she is clearly into you. Henry looks down. You really think so? Yes, look at me. Henry looks at Marty, so he continues. You two are obviously in love, and you haven't been loved since your parents passed. Besides me, you've been alone for years. You need someone like Rose, so please Henry, let her in your life. Henry signs. You're right. He stands up. I'll go to her. Marty pats him in the back. I know it's beyond your comfort zone, but you won't regret it. Henry nods and goes to Rose's table and sit next to her. She giggles. Finally made your decision, huh, handsome? Yeah. Rose looks at him in worry. You alright? You look shy. Henry shakes his head. I am fine. Okay, but listen, you can tell me what's bothering you. We're friends now and we gotta look out for each other, right? Right. He takes a deep breath. Okay, I'm better. Rose nods. Good, now then Henry, tell me more about yourself. What is there to say? I'm just a normal guy who works all the time. Then do you have any hobbies, anything you do in free time? Henry shakes his head. Not really. Rose pouts. Well, that needs to change. Huh, what you mean? I mean you need something to do. There's more to life than working, and you need to realize that. If you want, I can help. Henry raised an eyebrow. How? Rose smirks. Well, I have a place where we can have a lot of fun. Meet me after school and I'll take you there, plus just the both of us so nobody can bother us, she said with a wink. Henry nods and the bell rings. Rose gets up. Well, I'll see y'all later then, my night, she said while walking away, and Henry just stares at her and smiles. Hours later, Henry exits the school building, then his flip phone goes off, getting a call, so Henry answers the call. Hello. Hey, it's Rose. Rose. How did you get my number? Well, me and Marty have a class together and I asked for your number so I can talk to you whenever I want. Hee. Henry chuckles. Okay, so I'm guessing you call because of the place you want to take me. Yep, I'll text you the location. She hangs up. Henry looks at his messages and sends him the location of the junkyard with a message saying, "See you soon," with a smile emoji. Henry smiles and heads there. A few hours later he arrived at the junkyard where Rose is sitting on the hood of an abandoned car kicking her feet. She smiled when she saw Henry approach him. "Oh, there you are," she said while approaching him with a little head tilt. "I was worried you would leave me all alone here." Henry shakes his head. "No, I wouldn't leave you alone." "Wait, I hope that did not sound creepy." Rose giggles. "Nope, I like the sound of it, hee hee." She boop his nose. "Sue, why are we here?" asked Henry. Rose walked away and stretched. "I come here to have some fun and stress relief, you know. By the way, I asked Marty about you." About what?" "Just who you are under that beautiful exterior. He told me you don't have fun anymore and don't have a good childhood, so I've come to help you relieve all that years of stress." "Okay. How you plan to do that?" Rose grins while grabbing a metal bat. "By destroying some ass." Henry smirks. "Oh, you're rebellious devil." "Hee hee hee, I know," she said, and break a window with her bat. "Your turn," she said, throwing the bat to his grasp. Henry approaches the destroyed objects nearby. He thinks about his passing of his parents and all the crap he has to deal with, working his butt off, getting his delivery job and getting a license and getting his parents' house in his care. He took that anger and destroyed more objects, such as hitting cars, throwing boxes, grabbing some bottles and throwing them at windows, and beat up the hood of a car repeatedly until he's done. He starts panting while Rose walks behind him. "Wow, that was impressive. You must have been holding a lot of anger. If you only knew," he roars in battle cry while he throws the bat at another window, causing it to stop in place in the window. He starts to calm down, then he feels a hand connected to him. He turns to see Rose holding his hand. "Henry, I don't know you well, but after today I do want to get to know you, and please, you're welcome to tell me what happened to you. From Marty told me you didn't live a life like every normal teenager." He squeezed her hand. "Thank you, I want to get to know you too," she smiled. "Good, cause we got all year and maybe the rest of our lives to get to know each other." Henry nods with a smile. Rose pulls his hand to follow her. "Follow me, there's a radio nearby, I got to work." Henry shows no protest and just went along with it. They keep walking until they are in a free space with a radio. Rose lets go of his hand, disappointing them both, but she turns on the radio. "Let's see what we have today." She kept adjusting the radio until she landed on a song she likes. "Ooh, I like this one." She puts the radio down and starts dancing to the song, making Henry chuckle. She looks at him with a smirk. "You better not be making fun of my dancing, Mr. Cause if you are." She points at him. "Let's see you dance then." Henry's eyes widened. "You want me to dance?" "Yes, let's see who's better." Henry sighs and thinks about when the last dance was with his mother at age of 10, but he shakes his head and dance. Rose observes his dancing but giggles. "Really, is that all you got?" Henry blushed. "Shut up, I'm a little rusty, I haven't danced in years." Rose laughs and takes his hands. "Then let me help you remember then." They both start dancing while holding their hands together. As the song gets intense, so did their dancing, to the point of their bodies touching each other and dancing almost in sync. They both smile as they show they are both really happy together. The song ends while their faces are very close to each other, making them both blush. Rose gets off of him and shakes her head. "Sorry, I got carried away." Henry shakes his head. "No, don't be, I was enjoying it." "You were?" Henry nods. "Okay. Hey. Yes, Rose, there's this play coming up and I'm gonna be in it as a princess, and we still need more people in it, including a knight and dragon who are the main roles of the play, and I was wondering if you could join me in the play." Henry's eyes widened. "Me in a play? I never done stage play before. You sure I'm the right person for the job?" "Yes please, Henry, it will be fun, I promise." Henry sighs. "All right. Rose chants to herself. Yes. She gets a phone call. Sorry Henry, can you give me a moment? Henry nods and Rose walks away and answers the call. Once it ended, she approaches Henry. Sorry, it was my mom. I guess it's getting late and she was worried, but damn, she can't keep babying me all the time. I'm a big girl, I should be outside of home whenever I want. Henry chuckles. Haha, well that's parents for ya, he says with a sad face. Rose notices. Henry, is something wrong? Henry shakes his head. It's nothing, you should get home. Rose nods. Right. Hey Henry, let's do this again sometime. Henry nods. Definitely, just let me know. She nods. Have a good night, meet me at the auditorium tomorrow so we can sign you in the play. Henry nods and Rose leaves with a smile on her face. Chapter 7 Bait. Back in the present, Henry and Morgan arrive at the junkyard in Japan. As they reach their destination, Morgan hangs up and Henry notices. So got anything? Morgan nod. Yes, after a little bit of an understanding he texted me all the locations where he commonly takes his victims. It seems it's 5 locations. Henry nods. That means we'll have to make 5 baits with trackers. Morgan sits down. Do your thing. Henry nods and millions of blood tendrils comes out of his body and they start building, as they can build whatever Henry wants without needing to worry how, as the tendrils do all the work. They build 5 discs that can make holograms of female teenagers appear with trackers, however it's only one time use before they self-destruct. They also made a small compass to track them. The tendrils hand Morgan the hologram discs and retreat back inside Henry's body. He gotta love how genius your powers are. But why are you giving them to me? Asked Morgan while Henry holds a small compass. 'Cause I need you to place them at the locations you mentioned while I wait for you to come back and look at the tracking compass. Why me? Because you got the text of the location and you need to do something. Hee. You bastard, did you forget I'm the one who gets us the jobs? Did you forget who makes the jobs successful? Morgan sighs. Fine, you win, I'll take the bike and head there. Henry nods. Sounds good. He sits down inside an abandoned car. I wait for your return. Morgan rolls his eyes and walks away and drive away by using Henry's red bike. After an hour, Henry is napping in the abandoned car, but Morgan kicks his leg. Get up, I am back. Damn, you took forever, man, says Henry as he sits up stretching. Morgan crossed his arms. The baits are set and activated, now what? What do you think, smart A? We have to wait until he picks one of them up, or one of his men too. Morgan sighed. If you say so. Did you have any better ideas? I was gonna make you dress as a woman. Henry's eyes widened. Yeah, no wonder my plan was better. He leans back down. Morgan chuckled. Hey, kinda wish we did that so I can see your role-playing skills. Aw, no, like I would ever do that again. Morgan chuckles. I can imagine what that was like. Alright, I'm gonna take a nap, wake me up when you got something. Henry nods and Morgan lays on an abandoned couch and sleeps while Henry has another flashback of 23 years ago, a day after he meets Rose at the junkyard. School ended for the day, but Rose wanted him to join the play, so he heads to the auditorium and enters as everyone and the play instructor are practicing for the play that is months away. Rose is in a princess costume. She saw Henry with eyes widened and approaches him. Henry, you're here. Yeah, he tries to focus but couldn't help but love the outfit. You look beautiful. Rose blushed. Thank you, Henry, it's my costume, I am a princess. Henry chuckles. I see that it suits you. Why thank you, Mr. McKnight, or should I say my knight. The play instructor sees them interacting and approaches them. Ms. Rose, do you know this man? She nods. Yes, this is Henry and he's here to join the play. The play instructor's eyes widened. Oh really? He looks at Henry. Is that true, good sir? Henry nodded and the play instructor claps his hands. Wonderful. Do you have in mind which role you wanna play? Well, Rose suggested I should be the knight. Like heck you are, says a mysterious person on stage who has a French accent and jumps down and approaches the three. Please Mr. Roman, I still haven't decided your role yet, says the instructor. Henry leans over to Rose and whispers, who's this guy? Rose whispers back, Roman, the bastard who had a crush on me for years but I always rejected him. Personally I'm pretty sure he wants to do this because of the kiss scene at the end. Henry's eyes widened. The what? Oops, did I forget to tell you that? She said with a wink, making Henry blush and think to himself, that sly devil. Henry shakes his head while looking at Roman and the play instructor. Then may I suggest an idea? They both raised an eyebrow. What do you have in mind? Asked the play instructor while Roman crossed his arms. What if me and Roman have a tiny competition? Whoever delivers the knight's line better will claim the role, said Henry, which caused the play instructor's eyes widened. Ah, excellent idea, and I have just the line. He walks away to grab the script. Roman chuckles. This will be easy. Henry shrugs. If you say so. The play instructor came back with the script and handed it to Roman. Okay Roman, you will go first. Read that line while aiming the sword at the castle, pretending the princess is in it, he said while pointing at the castle. Roman nods and walks to the stage and grabs one of the foam swords and aims at the castle. Henry chuckles. Man, this is ridiculous. Rose giggles. That what makes it fun, Henry. Roman speaks while holding the script with a serious expression. Have no fear, princess, I shall protect you. No dragon will stop me from saving you. The play instructor nods. Not bad Roman, it's your turn, Henry. Henry nods while Roman approaches Henry and shoves the items at Henry. Let's see if you can beat that punk. He walks away. Henry takes a deep breath. I can do this. Rose rubs his back. You'll do great, just imagine if I was in real danger. Henry nods and walks to the stage while Roman growls in anger after seeing Rose make physical contact with Henry. As Henry walks on stage, he looks at Rose, who gives him double thumbs up. Henry sighs. Am I really doing this? He reads the line and puts the script on the ground and aims the foam sword at Rose. Have no fear, princess, I shall protect you. No dragon will stop me from saving you, he said with a smirk of confidence, which Rose smiled to that, and the play instructor smiled while rubbing his cheek. Interesting, he remembered the line quickly and only had to look at once, and the confidence showing emotion to make the princess calm in a dangerous situation. Ms. Rose, this man has hero potential. The play instructor raised his hand and snapped his fingers, which is a symbol to give everyone attention. I have made my decision, Henry, you will be the knight and Roman will be the dragon. Everyone clapped, so did Rose. Woo, I know you can do it, Henry, she said, and Henry does a hero pose, resting the sword on his shoulder and smirks. Roman is pissed. What bullcrap is this, damn you McKnight? As Henry keeps smirking, he gets an alert, waking Henry back to reality. Back in the present 23 years later, Henry sits up and checks his compass, showing an alert of one of the baits being taken. He gets up and kicks the front bumper, startling Morgan awake. Morgan, get up, we got something, follow me and take the bike. Morgan stands up and nods while Henry goes on foot, using his superhuman speed to run towards the location while parkouring his way there while Morgan used the bike. Chapter 8, Dave Ghost. As they keep going, the person who picked up one of the holograms has made their destination, which was a shack in the middle of the woods. The person gets up. Come on, pretty lady, the boss is up ahead. The hologram nodded and followed the man. When they enter the shack, it was built underground, so they head downstairs. They keep going until they see the man himself, Dave Ghost. Ah, who do we have here? Asked Dave. I found this young lady, and get this, she's a silent type. Dave chuckled. Well, that would be entertaining once I get her to scream, "Come along, young lady," he said, trying to grab the hologram's wrist, but his hand went through her. What the hell? The hologram giggles. Oh, you're screwed now, hee hee. She self-destructed as well as many other holograms. Dave gets pissed. You idiot, it was a fake. Did you even check if she was real? The man waves his hands. Wait, sir, but Dave cuts the guy off of what he was about to say by grabbing his head and pouring him with fire magic. The man screams in pain, "Ah," and falls to the ground while Dave growls while looking at the burned corpse. A few minutes later, Henry landed on the roof of the shack and Morgan parked the bike. "So this is the place," says Morgan, and Henry nodded. "Yeah, according to the compass this psycho is hiding in here." Morgan chuckled. Not bad, but what could he possibly do in this tiny a space? Henry jumps down. Who knows, but it does make him easier to find, so let's head inside. Henry kicked the door open and saw the staircase going downwards. "Well, that's something," says Morgan. "Well, let's go, we got people to save," said Henry as he heads downstairs while Morgan follows. "Yep, and get our paycheck." Henry rolls his eyes but smiles. They keep walking and head to the main lair. Morgan holds his nose. "Damn, it smells in here." "Ha ha ha, what's wrong? Is it too much for you, couch potato?" "Shut up, I am not used to the smell of death. There's a reason why you're the field guy." "Ha ha, good point, but I need you to escort any survivors." Morgan nods. "I can do that, let's get going already before I puke." Henry chuckled and they keep walking. Meanwhile, in a room, 10 teenagers in chains asleep except one who was holding his girlfriend to help her sleep. He closes his eyes but everyone wakes up when 2 figures open the door. Everyone cower and crawl to the back wall. The girlfriend holds him tightly. Of the figures approach the boyfriend. "Please don't hurt us, I won't let you touch her." "Whoa, easy there, I won't," says the figure who is revealed to be Henry, and he kneels. The girlfriend asks, "What do you want from us?" But Henry doesn't answer and grabs the chains and breaks them with a grip of his gauntlet hand. Everyone is shocked and the boyfriend asks, "Who are you and what's going on?" Henry smiles. "It's all right, we came to save you and get you guys out of here." He points at Morgan. "My friend here will escort you out of the building and you will be free." "How can we believe what you said?" asked the girlfriend, but Henry stands and walks away. "It's either not or stay and let the cops come find you." As Henry walks away, the girlfriend sees Henry's Phoenix logo on the back, her eyes widened. "You're the Bloody Phoenix, aren't you?" Henry looks back over his shoulder and winks with a smile, making everyone's eyes widened. Henry walks towards Morgan. "Get them out of here, I'll go after Dave Ghost." Morgan nods and Henry runs away. The 10 prisoners are conflicted what to do, but girl stands up and walks towards Morgan. "I believe him, please mister, get us out of here." Morgan noted. "Everyone follow me." Slowly everyone else gets up and stands up and follow Morgan. The couple looks in the opposite direction where Henry went but continues following Morgan. Meanwhile, Henry keeps running. "All right, a hole, it's time to end your madness." He ends up in an open room full of items, candles and a pentagram on the ground. "What is going on here? Don't tell me a demon is behind this." "You're correct, Phoenix, and yes, I know your name. You make quite a reputation in the demon world," says Dave Ghost as he comes from the shadows. Henry sees Dave's right eye, revealing a fully red eye with a yellow skull for a pupil. "Ah, now it makes sense," he says while Morgan enters the room. "Hey, did I miss anything?" he asks while he sees Dave and pulls his dual revolvers out and aims at Dave. "Is this our target?" Henry nods. "Yeah, but careful." "Why?" As he said that, Dave fired a beam made of fire at them while Henry grabbed Morgan and dodged the attack. "What the hell?" yelled Morgan while a blood tendril comes out of Henry's body and takes the form of a barrier all around that Henry and Morgan take cover. Dave gets angry. "Come on, fight me, you cowards, I'll burn that barrier apart piece by piece." Then Dave fires another fire beam made of fire at the barrier. "What's going on with him?" asked Morgan. "He's possessed by a contract demon." "A contract demon? How do you know that?" Henry nodded. "Yeah, a demon, where a demon makes a contract with a host so he can share the host's body. In exchange, the host can use the demonic power that came from the contract, but the host has to do a certain condition depending on the demon's choice. You can tell because the host's right eye turned into a specific eye colors." Morgan's eyes widened. "He must have been sacrificing humans as the condition, that sick bastard, all for some power. So how do we defeat him?" "Well, in hell they can take damage and pain but never die. The closest thing to death for them is sleep or being knocked out, but in the living world, although they can regenerate, they can be killed and sent back to hell by destroying its heart." Morgan raised an eyebrow. "Then how do we do that?" "Without killing the host, 'cause I think the cops would like to have their bounty alive." Henry sighed. "Well, yes, that's true, as there's two ways of killing a contact demon. The first way is to kill the host's heart, which would kill the contract demon. However, the contract demons have anger issues, so the second way is to anger them enough to leave the host body and fight us personally." Morgan nods. "The second way it is." Henry nods and the barrier retreats back to Henry's body. Him and Morgan split up. Henry keeps dodging the fire attacks while Morgan shoots his revolvers at Dave's legs. When Dave gets shot, he tries to hit fireballs. "What's the matter? Not strong enough to fight 2 against 1? You are one pathetic demon, or is that human making you weak?" Dave growls. "Shut up and die, Phoenix." His body gets covered his flames while Henry taunts him. "Come on, hit me, turn me into a cooked phoenix." Dave smirks. "Gladly." He aims both his palms at Henry while Henry leans back against the wall, flipping him off. Dave is about to fire when 2 bullets hit him in both shoulders. He growls and looks at Morgan. "You." Morgan smirks. "Made you look." Dave quickly turns, but too late, as Henry grabs his face and slam him to the ground and punch him non-stop on the chest. "Come on, I know you can do better than that. That human is just holding you back." Dave yells. "I know what you're up to, but it won't work." He set his body on fire and grabbed Henry by the throat and turned to slam him to the ground. "Ha ha, how about that?" Henry laughs. "Man, you have the weakest grip I've ever felt." Dave's right eye twitched. "Shut up, let's see if you can survive from this." He set Henry on fire, burning him, but Henry just groans in pain. Dave laughs. "Ha ha, what's wrong? Don't like being burned? Now then scream for me." But Dave got shot in the back, which caused him to let go of Henry's throat. Dave groans in pain while Morgan grabs him by the chokehold from behind. "Surprise B." Dave growls but tries to set himself on fire to burn Morgan, but somehow his fire isn't working. "What the how?" Henry smirks. "Easy, I control your blood, which means I can control your body to prevent you from using your abilities." "What nonsense is this? I heard rumors you can do that from the other demons, but I never believe that's true." Morgan backs away while still having Dave in a chokehold. Henry gets up. "Well, I would get out of that situation without doing that, but you'll burn my friend if you did." Dave roars. "I'll get you for this, damn it, I swear I will." Henry grins and turns his arm to a blood arm blade and taunt him while waving the blade. "You know there's only one way to get to me, but you're too much of a scary pants to do it." "I'm not scared of you." Henry walks away and bounces in place. "Really, why don't you come and prove that you weak B?" The demon inside Dave gets really pissed and leaves Dave's body and come after Henry while Dave becomes unconscious. The contract demon sets its fist on fire and tries to hit Henry with barrages with punches, but Henry keeps dodging. There you are, Morgan. Take Dave's body and get out of here, but make sure he stays knocked out. Morgan nods and put Dave's body over his shoulder and leaves. Without worrying about Morgan, Henry grins. All right then, let's dance. The contract demon yells in a battle cry. I'll burn you alive. I like to see you try. Then he keeps delivering blows to each other. As Henry keeps dodging, the demon becomes reckless and throws fireballs and beams all over the area. The demon backs away. Let's see if you can take this. He summons a fire tornado at him, which a blood tendril grabs onto the wall and pulls Henry to the wall to protect him. The demon growls, but Henry leaps with superhuman speed and drops kick the demon to the wall. With the demon stunned, 4 blood tendrils grab the demon's arms and legs and lift him in the air. Henry crosses his arms and grins, ready to go home. As he said that, the tendril breaks the demon's arms and legs and drop him to the ground. "Gur damn you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you." But Henry stabs the demon on the heart. "Tell your friends I said hi," says Henry while the demon turns into dust and sent back to hell. Henry turns his hand back to normal and walks away. Meanwhile, outside the now burning shack, Morgan, while crossing his arms, waits for Henry's return while Dave's body is still knocked out and on the floor. "Come on kid, finish the job already." As he said that, a figure aka Henry comes out of the burned shack. His skin and clothes are burned and torn apart. Morgan chuckles. "Took you long enough. Is the demon back where he belongs?" Henry nods while his body and clothes regenerate back to normal. "Yep, all done. Here is our bounty, still knocked out." Morgan kicks Dave in the gut. "Yep, he's still alive and knocked out." Henry picks up Dave and puts him over his shoulder. "Then let's turn this guy in and celebrate with some ice cream." Morgan chuckles. "All right, meet me at the ice cream shop when it's done." Henry nods and with superhuman speed dashes out of the area. 1 hour later, outside the ice cream shop, Morgan is sitting by a bench holding 2 large cups of ice cream. He got chocolate while he held Henry's cup, which was vanilla. Henry arrives with the suitcase. "Yo Morgan." Morgan nods. "You got our money." As he said that, Henry sits down and puts the suitcase on the table, opening it, showing the case while Morgan gives Henry his cup of vanilla ice cream. "Yep, all 200. Oh, here, and counted them before I left," says Henry while eating his ice cream. Morgan collects his share of 100,000 and puts it in his inside jacket pocket. "Job well done yet again. So what's going to happen to our little criminal?" "Well, the cops declare death sentence, which that's good. The guy is getting what he deserved." Morgan nods. "I agree." Morgan stands up and walk away. "All right, I am gonna head home. I need a nap. Good luck on school tomorrow. He he he." Henry growls. Yeah, very funny a hole." Chapter 9 Spirits. The next morning, Henry is on a rooftop near the prison and sees a man with tattoos on his forehead sitting with his legs crossed. As he stares, he's on the phone with Morgan. "So let me understand, one of the witnesses claimed this guy is using spirits to do his dirty work, killing people," said Henry. "Yep, from the information I've gathered, the witness said that this man is going after people who set him up. However, after doing that, he went on a spree and 5 innocents died because of him. It's best to get rid of him," says Morgan. Henry sighs. "I better make this quick. Get a kid to babysit." He hangs up and puts his phone away. The guards of the prison approach the tattooed man and grab his arm to escort him somewhere else. As they do that, Henry jumps around buildings to look for that man. The tattoo man was thrown to his cell, which luckily Henry just has in view of it. He smirks. "Bingo, now let's get this over with." Henry summons a blood shuriken, which has only 2 blades, as he plans to use his blood teleportation ability. How his teleportation works is he throws a specific 2-bladed shuriken made of blood. After being thrown and landed on anything, Henry snaps his fingers and turns into a floating ball of blood and instantly dashes towards the shuriken's location. It can even go through walls while doing it. Once he arrives at the shuriken's location, he turns back to normal and his body turns back to normal. Anyway, he throws the two balded blood shuriken through the cell window and teleports to appear inside the tattooed man's cell. The tattooed man gets started and lean against the wall. "Who are you? How did you just do that?" Henry shrugs. "I would explain, but I'm on a time limit." He grabs the man's head while the man pleaded, "No, please, I didn't do anything wrong." "Oh really? After you already took your revenge and start killing more people? I say this is karma." Henry uses his drain ability and drains all of the tattooed man's blood, killing him instantly. He lets go and the man falls to the ground. Meanwhile, in someone's home, a spirit already killed so many police officers in the police station locker room. The room was full of fallen officers except one who was crawling backwards staring at the spirit. "Stay back," he says and starts firing his pistol at the spirit, but the bullets go through it. The spirit, who has a female appearance, keeps walking closer and reaching for the officer's head while the officer breathes in fear until the ghost starts screaming in pain and holding her head. Ah! However, the pain eventually stops and looks in a different direction and teleports away, leaving the officer to sigh of relief from the nightmare. Meanwhile, back with Henry as he holds the tattooed man's arm, which seems to have a summoning spell on his arm. So that's how a summoning and puppet spell. He sighs and grabs his lighter he used to burn the corpses and burn the man's body. "Sorry pal, but we can't let anyone else see that." He stands up and the spirit appears behind him. "You set me free," says the spirit. Henry turns around and grabs his spirit shuriken from his jacket pocket, a custom shuriken created with holy water inside. The shuriken is designed to send any spirit or ghost back to where they belong. He stares at the spirit. "Yeah, I did, but it's not over. I'm going to send you home." The spirit gets angry and charges after him, but Henry dodges and throws the shuriken at the spirit. As the shuriken makes contact with the spirit, it screams in pain while a green vortex appears and devours them, teleporting them back to where they belong, which for this spirit is the ghost realm. Henry chuckles. "Sorry, I got enough ghosts haunting my nightmares." He puts the spirit shuriken away and throws a blood two blades shuriken to outside the cell and he teleports away. A few hours later, Henry is driving his bike and parked outside Orion's building. He is now wearing the KO University outfit while his normal clothes are inside his black backpack that is on his back. Unfortunately, since his gauntlet is unremovable, the blade that is from the wrist of the gauntlet retracted and Henry wrapped it around in white sports tape so it kinda not raise too much suspicion. "Come on, I thought he would be ready by now," he calls out. "You better get out here before I start honking and pissing off the neighbors for fun." All right, let's not do that today," says Orion as he gets out of the building and gets on Henry's bike. "Finally, what took you so long?" "Actually, don't answer that, I don't wanna know," says Henry as he starts the bike and they drive off to the KO University. After a few minutes they arrived at the parking lot and parked the bike. They get off and head towards the building's entrance while some student took glances at Henry but didn't mind as much, making Henry chuckle. "I guess my disguise is working. It seems so. Now you don't stand out like a sore thumb," says Orion. "Good, I hate the idea of being popular." "Why?" "It could be entertaining. The famous new kid Henry McKnight come to attack any bully that comes in his direction." Henry rubs his temples. "Yeah, but the downside, nobody will leave you alone and be up your 24/7. No thanks." Orion chuckles. "Fair enough." They head inside the school building. Minutes later, as a school lesson goes on, Henry's phone goes off. He stands up and raises his hand. "Can I use the bathroom?" The teacher noted and Henry exited the classroom with his backpack, making Orion raise an eyebrow. Well, someone needs to use the bathroom. Minutes later in the male school bathroom, Henri answers the call from Morgan. What's up? Hey, remember the bar we were yesterday? Well, it's been under attack. It's a bar, of course there's an attack, bar fights happen a lot. That's true, however this came out of nowhere, but people start getting killed and even the bartender starts firing. They all were fighting like someone told them to. Mind control, alright fine, I'll take care of it, it's better than staring at a classroom. Henry hangs up and exits the bathroom. Once he did, he looked around so nobody was watching, then threw a two-bladed blood shuriken out of the window and teleported away. Minutes later Henry arrived at the bar and headed inside. Henry raised an eyebrow as he saw bodies all around the place and some brutal, damn well, then someone went extreme in this bar fight. All of a sudden he hears laughing in the distance. What's so funny? I didn't know my comment was a joke. Then a guy comes out of a storage room. Well, I got another toy to play with, says the guy. Sorry pal, I got no time or mood to be anybody's toy. The guy smirks. That's too bad because I don't give a damn if you want to be or not. He raised his hands while Henry's pocket vibrates and grabs his enchanted taser that has engravings all over it that was vibrating. He looks at it and turns the device around to the back of it, showing a compass, and it's showing why it's vibrating, and it's because a possessed person is nearby. The compass that points to the nearest person possessed, which is the guy in front of him, and turns it on. The guy's eyes widened, causing Henry to smirk. What the dot? How you should be under my control. Henry chuckles and pulls his left sleeve down, showing a watch-like device with a glowing green skull on the center. Sorry pal, a long time ago someone controlled my body, so I created this device to prevent my body and mind from being controlled, as well as making it impossible for anybody to read it, so nobody will be touching my mind again. The guy shakes in fear and runs away. Ah, where you going, demon? You realize your powers don't work on me. He charged and drop-kicked the guy to the ground on his stomach, standing on him, and used the taser on him. The taser causes the demon to instantly leave the body and it flies away. Oh really? I thought we were starting to get to know each other. Well, that's too bad, now I gotta send you home. He gets off the guy while turning the taser off and puts it away. As he does that, he puts his backpack down and grabs his jacket and places it on the ground to show the interior of the jacket, where two holsters are attached on the back and two revolvers are on the holsters. He grabs the dual revolvers. The revolvers are Henry's custom-made dual Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum revolver that were enchanted by a wizard Henry met 10 years ago. They are enchanted to fire unlimited bullets, so Henry can do damage to anybody or anything that is weak to silver. The design is like a normal Magnum revolvers, but the cylinders are custom-made to hold 8 bullets and modified into the revolvers with engravements. The grips are dark red and see-through and with an engraving of a phoenix. Lastly, there's a small dial on the bottom of the grip. He turns the dials for each revolver and a female voice comes out of the revolvers telling what the bullets have been turned into, as the bullets have the ability to switch into different materials such as copper, bronze, metal, iron, silver, gold and aluminum. He currently had them as bronze, so he turned the dial and switched the bullets to silver, and the female voice from the revolvers said, "Silver." Inside the chamber, the bronze bullets were instantly turned into silver bullets. Once it's done, Henry does the same for the other revolver. "Silver," says the female voice from his other revolver. After all of that was done, he puts his jacket away inside his backpack and puts the backpack on while holding his revolvers. He sprints away to find the escaped demon while the guy who was possessed wakes up, regaining consciousness. What happened? However, Henry ignores him. Henry keeps sprinting and sees the demon flying away in an alleyway. Hey, where you going? He's starting firing his revolvers. Most of the bullets missed, but one didn't, hitting at the demon's ankle, causing the demon fell to the ground in pain while it slowly regenerates. Damn, it's silver. Yep. Henry kicked the demon in the face, making it lay on its back, then aims the barrel at the heart. See ya around, loser. He fires, causing the demon to turn into ash. He takes a nice deep breath. Much better than a boring lesson. He opens the cylinder that contains all 8 empty bullet cases and dumps them into the ground, which causes the bullet cases to disappear like they never existed. However, after emptying the cylinder, more bullet cases with new bullets inside appear inside the cylinder out of nowhere. He closes the cylinder and does the same process for the other revolver. After all of that, he twirls his revolvers and walks away. Chapter 10: The Helper. A few days passed. Today at night time, Henry, now back in his normal outfit instead of the KO University uniform, is looking at a family having dinner by the outside window. As he looks, he activates his ability Blood Vision, which is an ability he learned as he can change how he sees the world as the world turns gray. However, the people are highlighted in a colored avatar because of blood in their veins, as it even works through walls. However, it can change depending on the blood in their veins, such as humans are highlighted as red while others like werewolf are brown, vampires a flashing light gray, demons are yellow, and many more creatures. However, it doesn't work on robots or spirits since they don't have blood in them. Another feature is that he can also see blood marks in the environment for any evidence and detect how threatening they are, as when he looks at the person they also have different color auras surrounding their avatars to show if they are a threat or not, with red aura being a threat, blue being friendly, white is neutral. With that explanation, he looks to see the mother is highlighted flashing yellow and red with a red aura showing she's a demon in human disguise. Alright, found you now. Where did you put the real mother? He walks towards the house and looks around to see a basement door. Ah, there we go. He opens the door and heads downstairs. As he keeps walking, he hears muffling somewhere. He whispers, "Hey, is someone there?" The muffling gets louder and he keeps walking until he hears the source in a wardrobe. He opens the door and sees the real mother's eyes widened and she squirm backwards. Henry uses hand gestures to calm her down. Easy, easy, I'm not going to hurt you. Alright, I am going to remove that, okay. The mother nods and Henry unties the object that's covering her mouth. Who are you? Asked the mother. Well, I'm a professional in getting rid of imposters here. Let me help you up. He helps the mother get back on her feet and removes the rope, setting her free. She hugs him. Thank you, thank you. Wait, my husband, my kids, where are they? Are they hurt? Henry shakes his head. No, I just saw them. They're having dinner with the imposter. Thinking it's you. Follow me. The woman nodded and they slowly walked. So what's going on? Why didn't it kill me? Because the shapeshifter demon can only shapeshift into alive people. To why it's here, who knows with these freaks. A demon? Hee, great, demons are real. Wait, how did you figure it out? I have a device that can mark who's a fake. Okay, stay quiet now. The mother nodded and head up the basement stairs to the kitchen door. Henry shushes her. Shush, I'm gonna get her attention, and when I do, I'll get rid of her in here while you go back to your family and pretend like nothing happened. I don't wanna scare them. The mother nodded and stepped back away from the staircase out of view. Once she's out of view, a blood tendril comes out and grabs a knife from the kitchen and taps it on the ground, which caught the fake mother's attention. He puts the knife away on the counter and the tendril retreats. The fake mother investigates and sees the knife. How did you get there? She asks to herself, but Henry grabs her. Surprise B, and throws her down the stairs, leaving the real mother shocked. The fake mother groans in pain while Henry goes down the stairs. He approaches the mother and handed her a business card. You can go now, and please, if there's anything suspicious or you need me, call my friend Morgan. She takes the card and nod. Thank you so much for everything, mister. Call me the Bloody Phoenix. He salutes to her. Have a good night. The mother nods and heads upstairs. Henry turns his hand into a blood arm blade and stabs the fake mother in the back to where her heart was. She screams in pain, turning back into a demon, but turns to ash. Meanwhile, the real mother comes upstairs and joins her family. Is everything all right, honey? Asked her husband. The mother looks outside to see Henry leaving and he waved at her, making her smile. She shakes her head and looks at her family. I thought I heard something, but it was nothing. She sits down and joins her family. Henry smiles and keeps walking. Farewell, he said, but a bullet comes straight for him, but a blood tendril comes out and defends him by reflecting the bullet away by smacking it. Henry chuckles. Thanks, I keep forgetting you tendrils are like my guardian angels trying to protect me no matter what. My turn now. The tendril retreats and another bullet fires, but Henry grabs it with his teeth while looking at the shooter, making the shooter's eyes widen. Henry winks at him while cracking his neck and spit it to the ground. Hello there. You know, that bullet just reminded me I had to reload my revolver. Thanks for reminding me. He grabs one of his revolvers and opens one of his cylinders and throws the empty cases from the cylinder to the air. While new bullets appear inside the cylinder, he jumps and kicks the cases in the air, sending them flying towards the shooter and knocking him to fall backwards. When the shooter regained consciousness, he gets startled as Henry appeared in front of him holding a stick. Hello, what a lovely night we're having, isn't it? The shooter crawls backwards. Please have mercy, I can explain, says the shooter, but Henry rolls his eyes. Relax, I only kill if you deserve it, but right now you don't, so I'm just gotta beat you up with a stick like a old man. The shooter begs. Wait, but Henry cuts him off by beating his face up with a stick. An hour later, Henry parked his bike outside an orphanage where a doctor was waiting outside the door. He gets off the bike and approaches the door. "Ah, Henry, good to see ya," says the doctor as he offers his hand, which Henry accepts. "Dr. Richards, you called?" Dr. Richards nods. "Yes, please follow me." Henry follows the doctor inside and we walk across the hallway while little kids play around and watch them passing through. "What's the situation?" asked Henry. "Cancer patient," says Dr. Richards, making Henry frown. "I hate cancer. We all do, Mr. McKnight, we all do." They eventually enter a room with a little girl lying asleep next to a heart monitor which is very low beating. The nun who was sitting by her side sat up. "Oh, hello, doctor. Who's he?" asked the nun. Dr. Richards pats Henry's shoulder. "This is Henry, he's a special doctor for this kind of illness." The nun's eyes widened and approaches Henry. "Can you save her, Henry?" Henry nods and approaches the girl and aims his palm at her, and a fragment of blood comes out of Henry's body like a worm and transfer to the little girl's body, causing her hair to grow back. Once finished, Henry backs away. "What did you do?" asked the nun, but Henry smirks. "I cured her, now wait for a second." He points at the girl and slowly the heart rate monitor beats normal again and the girl wakes up gasping for air and coughing. The nun hugs the girl. "Oh, my dear child, you're okay." "Sister, what's going on?" asked the little girl, but nun looks at Henry while letting go of the girl and tears comes down her cheeks. "He saved you." The girl's eyes widened and look at Henry. "Is that true, mister?" Henry kneels to her and nods. "Call me Henry, and yes, I did. I have the ability to heal people and cure illnesses, including removing your cancer. You're gonna live." The girl gets off the bed and hugs me while crying on my chest. "Thank you so much, Henry. It's been difficult living like that." Henry smiles and hugs her back. "I can tell I didn't want you to suffer like that, little one." She holds him tighter but then lets go and she jumps around. "You said you can heal people, right? Can you heal my friend?" Henry raised an eyebrow. "What's wrong with your friend?" She dashes out of the room. Dr. Richard chuckles. I guess we're about to find out. The nun approaches Henry and kneels with him to hold his hands. My son, you have a gift. You've been blessed by the Lord himself. I thank you for using it to help others. Henry growls. It's not a gift from God. They're tools making me suffer. I'm only doing this to help the innocent lives, not for God, not as their puppet. These powers are a curse. A curse. I wish nobody else would have powers just to suffer like I have. He moves his hands away and stands up to look away. The nun frowns and stands up. Oh my dear child, God has given you these gifts for a reason. I may not know what you've been through, but I can only wish you see the reason and learn to forgive the Lord for the pain he caused you. Henry doesn't look at her and just crosses his arms. The girl returns with her friend, who was a young boy holding crutches with one leg. Henry, this is my friend. Can you help his leg? Henry kneels to meet the kid's height and holds his palm at them and transfers blood to the young boy, causing the boy's leg to regrow while the young boy's eyes widened and unshed tears are ready to shed. It's a miracle, says the young boy. Once the process was done, Henry puts his hand down. All right, kiddo, go ahead. The young boy nodded and with trembling hands gave his crutches to the girl, and slowly his new regrown left leg touched the ground. He taps his foot while tears come down his face. He smiles and starts walking and then runs with the other kids. The girl leans the crutches against the wall and goes to join in with the other kids. Everyone smiles, even Henry, while he stands up. Man, I love it when they are happy. Dr. Richards puts a hand on Henry's shoulder. You're a good man, Henry, and this is why guys like us do this, to make kids like them happy. Henry nods. Yeah. He shakes his head. I'm gonna get going. Give me another call when you need me. Dr. Richard nods. Will do, Henry. Take care. Henry exits the orphanage and gets on the bike while Dr. Richards exits the building and watches Henry start the car. Hey Henry. Henry looks at the doctor. Yeah. The doctor pauses for a moment and asks, you know someday you can't be doing this forever. Why haven't you decided to settle down or have a family? Henry shakes my head. I can't, not right now. I'm not ready for that kind of life. Then when are you ready, Henry? You've been doing this for years. It's going to ruin your life as you don't take a break or something. Henry frowns. My life is already ruined. This job is all I have left. See y'all later, Doc. Henry drives away, making the doctor sigh. Chapter 11: The Unknown Enemies. Meanwhile, at an unknown underground location in Japan, an auction is happening with a stage at the center, and the whole area is surrounded by people wearing fancy, expensive outfits. A lady dressed in a black dress with black hair and green eyes sitting among the crowd as she waits for the next item on the stage. The host claps his hands. Right everyone, it's time for big money. Let's start with this. He pressed a button and an item came out from under the stage, which was covered. The host removes the covers to reveal a golden statue of Anubis. This is a statue of one of the Egyptian gods, Anubis, made from real god from the mines at Egypt. This statue was built to honor the god. Now then, any bets? Many of the fancy folks raise their hands, but all of a sudden the wall explodes, causing everyone to be shocked in fear. What the hell? Says the host. The black-hair woman gets her pistol ready. However, two huge figures enter through the hole in the wall, causing everyone to run away. One of them was a humanoid male with gorilla arms and an oni face. The other was a female with a three-headed snake head with a snake legs. Get the SSS statue, says the snake figure, making the oni figure nod and walk towards the statue. The black-hair woman sees what the oni figure was up to and heads to grab the Anubis statue and fires her pistol at the oni figure. However, the bullets have no effect on it, so the oni figure grabs the woman by the throat and lifts her up. The Oni figure takes the statue from the woman. I'll take that. Now I am gonna enjoy killing a weak mortal like you. However, before the Oni figure can do anything, the woman grabs a flash grenade and uses it, blinding the Oni figure, and it lets go of the woman. When the Oni figure regains his vision, the woman is gone, cause the figure to growl. The snake figure approaches the Oni figure. Don't let that mortal get in your head, soon she's gonna die like the rest of this pathetic world. The Oni figure nods and follows the snake figure as they both leave the area. The woman sees the figures leaving, causing her to catch her breath. What the hell was that? What were those things? She gets a call and she answers. This is Yumi. Yes sir, I am on my way. The woman, who reveals her name to be Yumi, leaves the area. A few hours later, at the base of the Japanese government, Yumi waves at the receptionist and heads down the stairs to the meeting room, which has a large table in the center, chairs all around it, and lastly a giant monitor on the wall right next to the table. Inside, her boss, the general of the Japanese government, General Ren, is sitting in one of the chairs in the room. Agent Yumi, glad to see you alive and well. I've gotten your report. It's unfortunate you have failed to retrieve the item, says General Ren while Yumi sits down and crosses her leg over her other leg. Yeah, I apologize sir for failing my mission, but those things would have killed me if I had to take the sacrifice. General Ren shakes his head. You did the right thing, besides we planned this. Yumi's eyes widened and slam her hand at the table. You sent me there to get killed. We had to make sure the enemy you faced actually existed. Yumi tilts her head. What do you mean by that? General Ren snaps his fingers and another guy who is holding his backpack enters the room. Agent Yumi, I like you to meet Dr. Razor, a conspiracy theorist. He believes he knows what are the creatures you faced. Dr. Razor bows. It's a pleasure to meet you, Ms. Yumi. Likewise. Sir, with all due respect, why is he here? Almost all theorists spread bullcrap. General Ren nods. I used to think that until he showed me the information and the evidence to the creatures in Acton makes me think otherwise, and from your report it proves of what we have to do. Doctor, I leave the explanation to you. Dr. Razor nods and placed the folder on the table. Thank you, General. Yes, I am a theorist. For the past 21 years I believed there is something strange going on with our darling planet, such as supernatural creatures and maybe aliens. Yumi laughs. Sorry, am I supposed to believe that? Dr. Razor nods. This is no laughing matter, Agent. Aliens exist. What I'm about to reveal as evidence is what happened years ago. He grabs a packet from his backpack and hands it to Yumi. This is the information related to all the creatures that were captured by the United States government and been taken to a research lab called Armageddon Inspection Facility. Yumi looks at the packet and sees a bunch of non-human captures and her face is in shock. You're saying these beings are? Dr. Razor nods. Aliens, all of them living proof. However, the facility was attacked and everyone in the facility were found dead except one who has escaped. Yumi raised an eyebrow and handed Dr. Razor the packet. Dr. Razor grabs a profile photo of Henry McKnight and places it in front of her. This man was the only body they never found and was later revealed to have survived, says Dr. Razor. He looks human. That's because he is human. Yumi shakes her head. Then why was he in there? That's because Agent Yumi, he's different from the average human. He has powers, gifts, abilities that anyone would ever want. According to the reports, he has immortality, blood manipulation and superhuman agility and strength. Yumi scratches her chin. Very interesting, but how is it possible for him to achieve these abilities? Dr. Razor shrugs. They never gotten a solid answer. They speculated it's related to the weird unremovable gauntlet he wears. However, I did some research of my own and searched for any information on creatures who can manipulate blood. It was a real struggle until I found information about this thing. He grabs a very ancient book from his backpack and opens a specific page showing a four-eyed feminine creature. This is called the Blood Goddess. According to this book, she's an alien that can devour planets since the universe was created. As I kept reading, I learned she has the ability to manipulate any liquid including blood. Yumi raised an eyebrow. And being that can manipulate any liquid, but how can you be sure she's involved? Dr. Razor grabbed a file related to Henry McKnight and puts the image of the gauntlet on the table and points at the green animal eye on the image. That eye from the book The Blood Goddess has 4 eyes. On the right side was green animal eyes and the other side is purple animal eyes, and that green eye is the same as the creature's. So you're saying is that Mr. McKnight got his powers from the Blood Goddess? Asked Yumi, and Dr. Razor nods. Yes, in fact there's evidence of him using it in action. Now what I'm gonna explain will be confusing, so bear with me on this. He pulls a leak imagine of Henry with green eyes instead of red. This was an event that happened in Phoenix City in Arizona 21 years ago, where the man himself stars an attack on the Phoenix Council but then disappeared. You said he had green eyes. Do you think he was possessed by that alien? Asked Yumi. Yes, but somehow he eventually regained control of his body. There's only one possibility, that he has managed to kill the goddess trying to control him. That's great and all, but what does it have to do with the creatures we're facing now? Asked General Wren, but Dr. Razor sighs. I'm saying this because I believe these creatures are related to the Blood Goddess's defeat by Mr. McKnight. They start appearing 5 years ago from a portal, which gives me a theory that when she was defeated, a realm was created so those creatures can be born and go to our world to continue her work. General Wren and Yumi nod. That makes sense, but what is their goal really? Says Yumi. Whatever it is, we must stop them now. I agree, however I watch the creatures in action. They call themselves godslingers, and I've seen bullets and blades and explosive don't work on them, so I'm afraid we might need something or someone strong enough to do damage somehow. Yumi's eyes widened. You mean Henry McKnight, right? Dr. Razor nods. Yes, I believe with his abilities it is possible. General Wren sighs. But do we have any idea where he is? Well, from what I understand, he's been a mercenary for years and he's currently here in Japan, so it wouldn't be hard to find him. Says Dr. Razor, making General Wren nod. All right then. He look at Yumi. Agent Yumi, I need you to bring him here. Do what it takes. It should be easy with bribery or to tell him the truth. Yumi nods. Yes, sir. She leaves the room. Meanwhile, a group of thugs are driving a car speeding away with money bags in the back seat. 2 guys in the front and a female in the back seat. They each cheer. Woo, I can't believe we pulled that off. Says the driver. Yeah, too bad we had to kill a few people to keep them quiet. It should allow us to get the opportunity to chase after the cops. Says the robber in the passenger seat. Hey, we all get paid, that's what matters the most, says the female in the backseat. They blitz past an alleyway where Henry, who was leaning against the wall next to his bike, was ready for them. When they drove past him, he smirked and he chased after them while dodging and parkouring over traffic. The driver looks at the rear mirror. Who the F is this guy? However, as he said that, Henry has already sprinted to the window to the next to the back seat and knock. Yahoo! The female robber raises an eyebrow and puts the window down. Hello there, Officer McKnight here. Do you have any idea how fast you were going? Asked Henry, but the female robber frowns and shoots Henry in the head with her pistol. However, her eyes widened as she sees the bullet slide out of Henry's head, making Henry rubs his head. Ow, how rude of you, says Henry as he grabs his revolver and shoots at the robber's head. Karma's AB, isn't it? The other two robbers' eyes widened while Henry throws his two-bladed blood shuriken at the back seat, casing Henry to teleport to the back seat. He poked his head. "Hello there," but the passenger grabs Henry's head and slams his head on the radio, changing the song. "Hey, I love this song." Another blood tendril comes out of Henry's body and punch the passenger seat door, causing it to bounce off the car and crash into a wall in place. As that happened, the passenger robber saw that, causing Henry to smirk and punch him, sending him flying to a pole and breaking his back, and he fell to the ground. The driver's eyes widened as Henry looked at him with a smirk. "Wait please," but Henry ignored him, so he threw a two-bladed blood shuriken at a far distance in front of the car. After being teleported, he bounced a few times and stuck his foot out. Then the speeding car crashed into foot, causing the car to stop, and the driver got knocked out by the crash, leaving the front bumper destroyed and Henry's foot untouched and didn't even move. Henry hears the police sirens and claps his hands, clearing invisible dust. "Well, I'm done here." He sprints away and heads back to the alleyway where his bike is. He starts the bike and drives away in the opposite direction where the crash happened while dodging traffic, and does a wheelie. Chapter 12: The Big Job. The next day at KO University, the school day ended. Orion, Haley, Lyra, Katie and Maximus waiting outside the boys' locker room for Henry. Henry walks out of the locker room back in his normal attire and shoves his KO University back into his black backpack while the blade of his gauntlet comes out. "Great, now you're here, Henry. Is everyone ready to go?" asked Haley, but Henry groaned. "Do we have to do this? Orion, let's just go home." "No way, handsome. We all have not gotten a chance to hang out, so we should do it now at the mall. Come on, don't you want to spend time with us?" asked Lyra, but Henry crossed his arms. "No." Maximus taps Henry on the shoulder. "Come on, Grumpy, it will be fun." "Yes, and I promise we'll go home afterwards," said Orion. Henry rolls his eyes. "Fine, let's get this over with," he says while walking away. A few minutes later, they all enter the Diversity Tokyo Plaza Mall. Haley's eyes sparkle of excitement. "Oh, Henry, you're gonna love it here." "Whatever you say, Haley." "So what's the plan?" "Well, our original plan was me and Haley go to the spa. Katie and Maximus will check out the arcade, and you and Lyra can just go do whatever. Once all that's done, we all eventually meet up at a restaurant for dinner and do whatever," says Orion. "Why did you have to make it sound like an objective?" asked Henry. "Because this place is here, and if we all know what we're doing, then we won't lose each other, and it will be a pain in the A if we do." Henry sighs. "I guess that makes sense." Haley claps his hands together. "Wonderful, glad we came to an understanding. Now then, shall we, Orion?" She grabs Orion's hand and they walk off. "Come on, Katie," says Maximus, and Katie nods as they walk off in a different direction. Lyra boops Henry's nose. "Looks like it's just you and me now, handsome," says Lyra. "I guess, but I have no idea what to do. I don't really like malls. I do need some new clothes and a bathing suit, so let's start with that." She walks away. "Come on, Blondie." Henry sighs. "This is gonna be a long afternoon," he says while following Lyra, while in the distance a lady with a hood up sees Henry walking away. A few minutes later, Katie and Maximus arrive at the arcade. "So what do you want to try first?" asked Katie. Maximus looks around and sees someone playing a dancing rhythm game. "I'm gonna try kicking this guy's butt," he said while walking over there. Katie rolls her eyes. "You and your competitive nature." She follows him. Maximus approaches the competitor as the guy finishes the game, and everyone nearby applauds to him. "Not bad, but I can do better," says Maximus as he stands next to the competitor. "Oh really, you think you can beat me, pal? I am the best in this game," says the competitor. He know I am, and I'm about to prove it," says Maximus. Oh really, bring it on then, ginger boy. Hardest level, whoever lasts longer wins. Maximus nods and they both get on the dance platforms and they start the game and dance. Over time as they danced, Maximus was starting to struggle. He thinks to himself, damn it is good, I don't know how much longer I can last. But Katie cheered him on. You can do it, Maximus, I believe in you. Maximus smiled and used the encouragement to keep going and go faster until he won the game. Everyone applied to Maximus while the competitor sat down out of breath. Maximus walks towards Katie. Good job, I knew I had it in you. She raised her hand for a high five. Maximus smiles and accepts the high five. Couldn't have done it without your support, Katie. Meanwhile at an empty sauna, Orion is wearing nothing but a towel relaxing. You know I should have invited Henry, the guy needs a break like this, says Orion, but then Haley enters wearing nothing but a towel too and no glasses. She sits down next to Orion and relaxes. Damn, this is heaven. I know, right, says Orion. They both sigh at the same time. Hey Orion. Yes Haley. I know we have known each other for a few days, but being here with you right now, I don't know, it just feels right to me, says Haley. Orion chuckles and takes her hand. Me too, it's like I'm right where I belong with the perfect girl by my side. Haley giggles, playing with her hair. My very bold, did Henry teach you that? Orion looks away and smirk while blushing. Maybe, I don't know, the guy just knows what to say with advice. Haley blushes and cups his face and turn his face to make him look at her. Well, I like it, and you're right about one thing, it feels like I'm right where I belong with a man I'm in love with, Haley, says Orion, but Haley kisses him on the lips, which Orion returns the kiss. They keep kissing until it's a makeout and Haley is sitting on his lap. Meanwhile at a clothes shop, Lyra is in the changing room trying on some bikinis while Henry is sitting outside the changing room rubbing his temples. Lyra put on a blue bikini with flowers on the design. She looked at the mirror. Oh, Henry is gonna love this one. She turns and opens the curtains, making Henry's eyes widen. Well, what do you think? You like what you see, handsome? Asked Lyra. Henry blushes and looks away, but he sees a woman staring at him and wink at him while leaving the store. Looks good, I guess. Lyra pouts. You guess I know you love it, your face says it. She closes the curtain while Henry gets up and walks out of the store. Lyra looks at the mirror and gets frustrated but takes a deep breath. Calm down, Lyra, he's just being a tough guy again, playing hard to get. He will eventually stop hiding his feelings. Maybe the next one will get his attention, she says, starting to change to another bikini. Meanwhile Henry keeps walking among the crowd while the woman looks over her shoulder with a smile. They keep walking until she lures him towards a tattoo shop. When they both enter, the men inside the shop lock the entrance door and close the windows. It started Henry, but then the lady pulls her hood down. Henry McKnight, it's an honor to meet you. Henry frowns. Who are you? But his eyes widened when the lady shows her badge. My name is Agent Yumi, an agent for the Japanese government. He points at the guy. He's another member. The guy nods. It's an honor, Bloody Phoenix. What happened to the owner of this shop? Asked Henry. Well, we pay him to take the day off, but that's not important. We need your help. Henry shakes his head. Sorry, but I don't get along with the government, he says while walking away, but Yumi stops him by saying, it's related to the blood goddess, the alien you defeated 21 years ago. Henry's eye twitch and approaches her. How do you know about that? We have our ways, Mr. McKnight, but I promise we're not here to lock you up. We need your assistance. My assistance? Why? But Yumi puts her hands on his chest. You'll find out if you come with me. Henry clench his fist but sigh. Fine, I'll hear you out. Yumi smiles. Thank you, but I know you're hanging out with your friends, so I'll let you say goodbye to them once you're done. Meet me outside, I'll wait for you, pretty boy, she leave the shop and so did the guy. Henry exits the shop and Lyra sees him and walks towards him. Henry, there you are. Oh, hi there, Lyra, says Henry. Where were you? I was worried. Henry sighs with a small smile. I'll explain everything later. Did you get what you need? Lyra nods. Yes, but I wanted you to see them all. Maybe next time. We should get to the restaurant since we're done here. Lyra pouts. Really, do we have to? I mean, what if they are already waiting for us? Lyra sighs. Fine, let's go. She walks away and Henry follows her. They eventually made it to the restaurant. They agreed to meet them, but none of their friends were in sight. Lyra sighs. Well, looks like we beat them to it. Let's go find some seats. Henry nodded and they went to take a seat near the lounge seats and table. Lyra sits next to Henry and as they wait she tries to hold his hand, but Henry crosses his arms without noticing her hand, making Lyra disappointed. Eventually Katie and Maximus wave at them. Hey guys, says Katie. Hey Katie, says Lyra with a disappointed tone. Katie and Maxi.us sit down with Maximus next to Lyra and Katie in front of everyone. You okay, Lyra? Did you get the clothes? Asked Katie, but Lyra noted. Maximus looks at Henry. What did you do? Henry shrugged. I did nothing, I was just keeping her company, that's all. I don't know why she's grumpy. Maximus whispers to Lyra. He's clueless, isn't he? Lyra noted and whispered. Yeah, but I'll get him next time. Maximus noted to that response with a smile. Orion and Haley finally arrived. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting, says Haley while waving and wrapping her arm around Orion's and holding his hand. Henry's eyes widened with a smirk as he noticed Orion's bite mark on his and Haley's necks and laughed, startling everyone. Ha 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 ha. What's so funny? Asked Orion. You lost it, didn't you? Asked Henry. What are you? But as Orion was about to finish his sentence he realized what Henry meant and blushed but nodded. Yes. Haley also realized what they are talking about and also blushed. However, she stays quiet, making everyone's eyes widened except for Henry. Henry gives them a thumbs up. Good job. However, he was hit by Lyra in the arm. How the hell was that for? Says Henry while Orion and Haley sit next to Katie. For being an idiot and not minding your business, says Lyra. I'm just being happy for them, that's all. Well, thank you for being happy for us, Henry. Me and Orion decided to make it official. I couldn't ask for a better man than him, says Haley while kissing Orion on the cheek. Anyway, we should start ordering our food, shall we? Says Katie, and everyone nodded. After an hour they had dinner and now had dessert. Henry checks the time and puts his milkshake down, taking a deep breath. Orion notices. Henry, you okay? Henry looks at him. Orion, what if I took a sick day? Will you be bullied by students while I'm away? Orion tilts his head. I guess I mean the bullying has stopped recently for me, especially with my friends by my side. Henry smiles. That's good. Henry, what's wrong? Asked Haley, and Henry sighs. There's something I must tell you. I'm the Bloody Phoenix. As he says this, a blood tendril comes out and picks up his milkshake and Henry drinks it, making everyone's eyes widened except Orion. He finishes the milkshake, then puts it down and the tendril retreats. I knew it, says Haley. The Bloody Phoenix, you're real? Asked Maximus. No wonder you're so distant, says Lyra to herself. I got so many questions about your powers. Says Katie. Yeah, but I have no time to answer your questions right now, says Henry. To be honest, I had my suspicions, but why are you telling us now? Asked Orion. Henry throws a two-bladed blood shuriken and teleports out of the table. Because even though I'm the Bloody Phoenix, I'm also a mercenary and I just got called for a big job, so I'm quitting our contract. Contract? What does he mean, Orion? Asked Katie, but Orion sighs. My parents hired him as a transfer student to protect me from bullies, but I guess it's over then, huh? Henry nodded and handed the black backpack to Orion. You can have this back, as tomorrow I'm no longer a student at KO University. But why, Henry, why can't you just stay with us? Asked Haley. Because I have to do the big job, and besides I rather be alone. He looks at Orion. Look after each other for me, okay, kid? Orion nodded while looking down. I understand, Mr. McKnight. I'll contact my parents and your fixer so they will cancel our contract. I promise it will not damage your reputation as a merc. Henry nodded and looked at everyone. And to all of you, I wish you luck on your future. This is goodbye. He walks away, but Lyra shoves Maximus out of the way and tries to follow him. Henry, wait. But Henry cuts her off. Don't follow me, he says as he controls Lyra's body to stop moving until Henry is out of sight and lets go of her. She leaves the restaurant to find him, but he's gone. Henry, please. I don't want you to leave, says Lyra as she sheds a tear. Minutes later, Henry sighs. Relax, Henry, this crap has happened several times. He leaves the mall and heads towards the bike while Yumi is leaving against her black Jeep. Have you said your goodbyes yet, Mr. McKnight? Henry nodded while rubbing his eyes. Yeah, I'm good now, so where are we going? Yumi approaches him and wipes the tear off his face and taps his cheek. Follow me, she says while getting in her Jeep and start the car. Henry gets on his bike and starts it and drives away following Yumi. Chapter 13, Godslingers. An hour later, he followed Yumi to the Japanese government base and he parked his bike outside the front door while Yumi stopped the Jeep. He gets out of the bike and gets in the passenger seat. Yumi continues driving and heads inside the base. Once inside, she parks the car and they both exit the car. Welcome, Mr. McKnight, to our base, says Yumi as Henry, unimpressed, follows her while she bypasses security. They reach the receptionist desk. Agent Yumi, welcome back, says the receptionist, as General Ren at the meeting room with Dr. Razor. Asked Yumi, and the receptionist noted. Yes, when you contacted us, the doctor was preparing for the meeting with Mr. McKnight. She looks at Henry. I must say it's honor to meet you, Bloody Phoenix. Thanks, I guess, says Henry. Do we have permission to enter the room? Asked Yumi. Of course, go right ahead, says the receptionist. They both nod and Henry follows Yumi. They eventually enter the meeting room where General Ren is sitting down and Dr. Razor puts evidence on the table to show Henry. His eyes widened while General Ren raised an eyebrow when they saw Henry. No way, says Dr. Razor, and Henry wave. Hello. Yumi sits down. General, as promised, I bring you the Bloody Phoenix, Henry McKnight. General Ren stands up and shake Henry's gauntlet hand. Nice to meet you, Mr. McKnight. I must say, as a protector of this country, I thank you for your service for our planet. You're welcome, I guess, says Henry. General Ren sits back down. Please sit, Mr. McKnight. May we get you something to drink? It's going to be a long night. Henry sits down next to Yumi. Wine would be fine. Dr. Razor nods. I'll get it right away, sir. He walks off out of the room. An hour later, after explaining everything, Henry puts his glass down and refills his glass with wine. Should we worry about if you get drunk? Asked Yumi, but Henry shakes his head. My regeneration makes me immune to being drunk or have any negative side effects. Anyways, let me get this straight. After I killed the blood goddess 16 years later, a realm was created that has creatures called Godslingers, and they now seek to continue her work and probably devour our planet. He says while rubbing his temples. Yes, that's the easy way to summarize, sir, says Dr. Razor. Then how come it took them 5 years for me to realize they existed? It should be possible for me to find one. Well, I believe that they are scared of you, Mr. McKnight. That's why you're here. We believe you are the only one to do damage to them. Henry groans while slamming his hand on the table. 21 years later and that beast still won't leave me alone. He hears a voice in his head that made him imagine the blood goddess behind him. The alien's appearance is a blue-skinned bald girl with 4 eyes, with on the left side is purple and the right side is green. She wears a green dress with red and blue accents, lastly purple gloves and boots. She wraps her imaginative arms around Henry and whisper in his ear, "You thought you could get rid of me, sweetie. I had one more backup plan, and this is it. Soon my children will destroy this world, destroy everything you want to save, all because you killed your precious goddess." She rubs his cheeks. "I see my DNA make you still handsome as ever. Oh, I missed you, my dear successor." Henry shakes his head, making it all go away. He finishes his drink while getting up and walking away. "Henry, where are you going?" asked Yumi, following him. "To kill godslingers," but she walks in front of him. "Don't be reckless. We don't know how powerful they are. We can help you. We have the resources to make you stronger. With a few tests we can make you hunt them easier." But Henry ignores her as he remembers to the promise he made years ago. He's holding Rose in his arms while she was wearing a left gauntlet identical to his. She starts to turn into stone while Henry cries, but she cups his cheek. "It's okay, it's going to be okay. Hey, look at me." He looks at her and she continues, "Promise me when I'm gone, don't take your anger out on this world. Protect this world, protect humanity, please." She tears up. Snap back to present day. He gets frustrated and pushes Yumi out of the way. "I don't need your worthless help. I'm not wasting my time for this." He exits the room. "Henry!" yelled Yumi. General Ren sighs. "I was afraid this will happen. Looks like he has to listen by force." He calls someone. "Lock down the place. Don't let the weapon escape." As Henry walks away, the place starts to activate lockdown with the alarm going off and doors closing. "Warning, lockdown activated. Please remain in a safe room." Henry growls and turns into blood form, a transformation that turns his entire body into blood while still shaped as himself. In this form he can walk through objects and any attack against him will just go through him. He sprints away while going through the walls. He keeps going while parkouring away and getting shot at by soldiers, but the bullets just go through him while Henry is in blood form, leaving the soldiers confused in what to do. But Henry keeps running until he exits the front door and turns back to normal. He sees his bike blown up, making Henry whine. "Seriously, I love that bike." More soldiers pull over in front of him and aim their guns at him. Henry chuckles. "Sorry boys, I got a planet to save." Again, he sprints and jumps over them all and keeps running. Meanwhile, in the meeting room, General Ren gets a call. "Sorry sir, but McKnight got away." "Should we go after him?" General Ren sighs. "No, there's no point to it. We know what he's going to do. We can pray he becomes successful." He ends the call. "Sir, are you sure it's a good idea?" asked Yumi, but General Ren nods. "Let's be honest, if we stop him he'll just get pissed and kill us all. The best option is to rely on him." Yumi sighs. "Yes sir," and sits down. Meanwhile, Henry sprints and climbs up rooftops and leaps from rooftop to rooftop. "I won't let your death be in vain, Rose." He hears a slithering noise and stops running while looking around by a ledge. He sees a giant snake tail in the distance, so he jumps after it. The snake figure with 3 snake heads slither around the alleyway while it starts to rain. "Where did that gorilla arm beast go this time, I swear?" But she hears footsteps and turns around. "Ah, who dares approach a god?" But her eyes widened as she say, "Who's there?" Slow walking towards her with his blonde hair starting to soak. His red eyes looking at her, ready for a taste of blood and holding both his revolvers. "It's you, mother's killer." He fires 1 bullet each gun, but the bullets bounce off her. "So bullets don't do s against you. Okay, I'll just kill you personally," says Henry as he puts his revolvers away and turn his arm into a blood arm blade. However, the godslinger slithers away. "Where are you going? I haven't killed you yet and spread my message." says Henry while he sprints after it. The Godslinger keeps slithering until as it begins to pass another alleyway Henry drop kicks it back to a wall. It groans in pain but gets back up. All right mortal, have it your way. She summons spikes underneath but Henry dodges them while she summons more spikes but uses a spear and throw them at him but Henry cuts them down. Is that all you got? The Godslinger slider up the wall but Henry climbs and follow it from rooftop to rooftop. The Godslinger stretch its arms to grab a water tower and throw it at Henry but Henry stick his arm blade out and flips towards the water tower and cut it through and keeps running until the Godslinger shakes her head. He won't stop until I kill his heart. She stops at a rooftop and turns to face him. Henry stops running. Finally decide to face me, you false god. You brat, I'm not false, I am divine and you will rot in hell. She summons more spears making Henry prepare to defend himself but it was a distraction as she grabs his foot with her tail. Got you. Then she lifts him up with her tail and slams him repeatedly to the ground, then throws him to a wall across the street causing a small crater on the wall. She throws the spears at his heart but a blood tendril grabs the spear and breaks it. Knows his powers protecting him. The tendril takes form of a middle finger while Henry regains consciousness. Ow, that hurt. He looks at the shocked Godslinger and leaps after it and cuts its 3 heads off and lands. Ha, how you like that, a hole. But the Godslinger's heads regrow. Tisk, damn, you're like a hydra, but if the hydra looks like it give birth by Medusa. He looks at her chest. I guess I'll aim for the heart. He charge after it. Die already mortal, says the Godslinger, and they fight, and as they keep fighting Henry cuts off her expanding arms but they keep regrowing. She gets frustrated and summons millions of spears and throw at them at Henry but he keeps dodging but some did hit him, however he throws a 2-bladed blood shuriken and it lands on the ground behind her. He teleports behind her and slams her head on the ground and keeps slamming it non-stop while 2 blood tendrils wrap around the other 2 snake heads' necks. He wraps his hand in her throat and grabs a bone from her ribs and stab her in the heart with it. Ah, no, no, not like this to a mortal like you, says the Godslinger, but Henry chuckles. Enjoy being erased from existence. Damn you, McNee. But she was cut off as Henry pushed the bone deeper, eventually killing her. She collapses on the floor while Henry gets on his knees while panting as the rain goes down heavily. He starts laughing. Ha 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 ha. But he keeps laughing and laughing while holding his head and looks at the sky. Ha 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 ha. His eyes turn fully red. He thinks to himself while laughing, I'll find you all, every last one of you Godslingers, I'll kill you all. He slowly calms down and his eyes turn normal. He gets up and uses his lighter to burn the corpse. Rot in whatever hell you go to. He puts the lighter away and jumps down to an alleyway. He pulls his hood up and heads to the crowd. He thinks about Rose and her beautiful smile while walking among the crowd.